Don't treat Gillette Intimate the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Hi, this is Evie White from Pisgah Legal Services, wishing you moments of joy, love, and celebration this holiday season. May this season be filled with warmth and good times. Cheers to a festive and wonderful holiday, and thank you for your support.
Wishing you and yours a happy holiday season and all the best for the new year. Season's greetings from our house to yours, from everyone at the Orange Peel and Rabbit Rabbit.
All year, you've sang, danced, and listened to your favorite artists in the free iHeartRadio app. Introducing iHeart Rewind 2023, presented by State Farm. A personalized experience featuring the music and podcasts that brought you joy in 2023 straight to your inbox. Plus, we're sharing what made your neighborhood move by highlighting the top artists, songs, and more in your home state. See the soundtrack to your neighborhood at iHeartRewind.com. Thanks for listening with
Ready to start the New Year strong? Then come out for the annual New Year's Resolution Run presented by Hunter Subaru. With 5K and 10K routes to choose from, runners, walkers, and family members of all ages and ability levels are welcome. You'll enjoy the vibrant streets of downtown Asheville on New Year's Day starting at 10 a.m. What better way to make 2024 your most successful year yet? Start it with a win at the New Year's Resolution Run. For more information and to get signed up, go to idaph.net, idaph.net. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia, Asheville.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raidered. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingalls studio.
ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. It's the Sportsocracy. You're on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is also known as Tommy DeVito Appreciation Day.
He's been doing that all day long.
Oh, yeah. I was doing it all night. I did it all night last night, too.
Oh, my gosh.
Just incessantly. I turned into a cast member of The Sopranos in about the second quarter.
Yeah, we'll talk about the, of course, Tommy DeVito and, Mafia Mania is actually what we should call this, is sweeping the nation.
No doubt every member of the DeVito family at some point has worked a union job that they did not show up for.
I mean, that's at least what they want to portray, right? Monday Night Football went full drunk last night.
Oh, yeah. And so did I. I swear to you, I may frame the interaction I had with Brian Hall with about 3 minutes to go in that game.
Oh, yeah.
Of, well, we didn't play our best, but a win's a win.
No.
7 minutes later. Oh, falafel.
Yikes.
That didn't take long.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, about that. About them there Dolphins.
Yep, that's a problem. That's a problem. We got Power Rankings Tuesday. We will give you all the shakeup in the Power Rankings after Week 14 in the NFL.
It's a spicy.
Week 15 of the NFL season has arrived, and the only thing that Jeremy could say when I said that earlier today was, thank God Draftmas season is right around the corner.
Oh, Draftmas tree.
Drake May made it official. He's going to join
How lovely are thy prospects.
He's beginning all of his breakdowns and making his plans for the Senior Bowl visits and all of the things.
Tight ends and corners too. Boo, 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 boo. I'm the Bing Crosby of Draftmas.
Are you now?
If Bing had a mullet and a drinking problem, yeah.
They have
Actually, I think he did have one of those.
Yes, he had a drinking problem.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Welcome into the program. We will be here with you for the next 3 hours as Power Rankings Tuesday is upon us. Get your thoughts in on the YouTube chat. If you're not in the YouTube chat, are you subscribed to the channel? Because if you're not, you should be. Go over to thesportsocracy.com. We got a live video link up in the middle of the page. Just click on that once you're through. Subscribe to the channel, and that'll get you joined into the chat with us. Live from the Ingalls studio, and Tommy DeVito and the New York Giants victors last night over the Green Bay Packers, and the Tennessee Titans and Will Levis victors over the Miami Dolphins.
Will Levis, dog.
Yeah.
Hey, you remember all you people that were like, well, you're stupid. Will Levis fell into the second round. I'll guarantee you if Carolina had to do all over again. Hey, would you like to have Bryce Young? Are you interested in that? Maybe we could have old mayonnaise sandwich there. I just love that Will Levis shows up every week and chooses violence with those forearms. I've never in my life seen a quarterback that looks like he's been doing, that he's going full roid rage like Hulk Hogan. And it worked. Now, the bigger question, do you walk away from that with serious questions about Miami?
Yes.
I don't.
Why?
Because the meaty clackers of this league is not very good, and the bottom tier is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill was hurt. I don't know why he kept coming in and going out. I don't know. Nobody really seems to know. Joe's bad day to have a bad day.
Yeah.
Just so happened it was on Monday Night Football.
Yeah. But you didn't come away with that thinking that there's some kind of a problem here with the play calling or something that they're able to have drives. They're able to get close.
Well, here's my question.
But you're fumbling the ball.
Did you consider the Miami Dolphins to be a Super Bowl contender going into this?
Fringe.
I didn't.
Fringe.
I didn't. I don't. And I won't. There's a reason that all of these gimmicky little things that Miami does, I mean, it's all well and good. When the rubber meets the road, do you have enough talent? Are you better than the Baltimore Ravens? No. Are you better than the Kansas City Chiefs? Even with no receivers? No.
Okay.
I think they're the third, fourth best team in the AFC. If you got really lucky, you could get to a Super Bowl, and I wouldn't like you against the Cowboys, and I probably wouldn't like you against the Eagles. That's what I noticed doing the power rankings this week. Man, I'm not going to overreact to anything because the bad is still bad. The mid-tier is still the mid-tier, and there are still 4 teams that I look at and go, you know what? You give me those 4, you have everybody else because I flat out don't care.
Right. If they were a fringe Super Bowl contender for you, then, yeah, I mean, you'd come out of last night going, well, you can't win a Super Bowl doing that. And I guess that's where I'm at. And that's what I came out of that was, okay, to me, it's kind of a definitive now.
The Dolphins are sleight of hand magic. They're what I came away from last night, the only thing that I really, and I'm not going to say I took it away, I pretty well knew this anyway, but here's the difference. The Dolphins are so fast that any team that is mediocre talent-wise, I'm just going to outrun you. It's what they did to the Denver Broncos. That's how they scored 70 points because nobody on the defense could keep up with them. All I got to do is get the ball in the hands of the playmakers. Now, last night, what did they come up against? Curious of what your response to that question would be.
I don't know.
A well-coached team. Mike Vrabel's still a really good coach.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the game, you did exactly what every Miami Dolphin fan did. You took your foot off the gas. You thought, oh, mayonnaise coffee here can't come down and score on us 2 times. So, we played 57 minutes. And then the last 3, you went full grumper in your shorts. Do you know the last time that a team lost a game in regulation? That they were up 14 points in the last 3 minutes?
I heard this. Tell us.
It's been eons ago.
You're right.
The last time a team lost that game, period, was 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was the New Orleans Saints.
Mm-hmm. Lost it in overtime.
Yes. They lost it in regulation, which is hard to do. But you found a way.
Mm-hmm.
You found a way. And I don't have a huge sweeping declaration on Miami. You're going to outrun teams. Tyreek Hill is special. Jalen Waddle is not as special. And without Tyreek, this offense is completely irrelevant. It was so unbelievably obvious when he wasn't on the field. And it's not the difference from Tyreek to Cedric Wilson. It's the difference from Tyreek to Jalen Waddle. Because Waddle's good. He's a good 2. He ain't a 1.
No.
He ain't a 1, and he's not going to be anytime soon. One of the best 3 or 4 2s in the league. But you need to put Tyreek Hill in bubble wrap. Because I think every team that makes it in the AFC could beat Miami with no Tyreek Hill. That's how good he is. If anything, he cemented that he is a legit MVP candidate last night because that team looks completely different without him.
Because without him,
doesn't happen without Achane.
Titans.
Doesn't happen without Mostert. Doesn't happen without Waddle. Without Tyreek Hill, you're as mid as they come.
You know, that is the best argument I think I have heard all season long for voting for Tyreek Hill for MVP.
It's the Jordan Travis argument.
I mean,
Jordan Travis should have gotten Heisman votes because he was so important that you left an undefeated team out of the playoff.
Yes.
Tyreek Hill on the Dolphins are a top 5 team in this league.
Mm-hmm.
If he decided to retire and wax surfboards tomorrow, they're a fringe playoff team.
Yeah. That's one of those. You're not breaking the record until you get those votes, right? That's the only way most of us get on board with giving that award to somebody other than a quarterback.
If it was ever going to happen, this would be the year.
Yeah,
you would need Dak Prescott to fall off he'd have to fall off a cliff in these last handful of weeks.
Absolutely. It's Dak's to win, and the only way Tyreek sniffs it is if he gets that receiving record, and that's not going to happen. I don't even. Is it in reach still?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
With 4 games to go, he'd have to have 160 something yards a game?
No, it's not that many. He was at 109, I think, going into last night. And it might be a little more than I can do the math.
Yeah, I was trying to do the math on the fly in my head here because he's at like 1542. 1542. Okay, he's a little.
Oh, it's definitely in reach.
He's
going to have a really big game.
I thought he was about 600 yards off.
No, he's 4 and some change.
Oh, okay. Well, that's definitely manageable then.
Well, the only problem is that your last 4 games are against the Jets, Cowboys, Ravens, and Bills. That's the other thing that I took away from last night. Hey, you do know that Buffalo's like, they're right behind you, and you have to end this season with them. And if you're not careful, you're going to mess around and let them win this division.
Right. Well, I mean, how important would home field advantage be for Miami, right? This is the worst time to possibly have this. You're trying to keep pace with Baltimore at the top. Now you're down a game in the race for the number 1 seed.
Oh, you're not getting the 1 seed. I'll promise you that.
But I was going to say, I mean, before last night, how important was that of I want to have home field advantage. I want to be in Miami. I don't want to go travel in the cold.
That's the problem. Is it's not necessarily that I want to be in Miami. It's that I don't want to have to go to Baltimore or Kansas City, Jacksonville. I'm not overly worried about that.
Mm-hmm. But I don't want to go play in the cold. I want to be at home.
Is this a fraudulent team?
Yes.
I kind of agree.
Yes, I've felt like they're fun and they're high flying, great to watch. I've never felt like this is a championship caliber squad.
They out-cute themselves more than any team I think I've ever seen.
Yeah. But
there were times last night that I felt like you could have just turned around, hand the ball to Raheem Mostert. Just keep doing that. Your best player's not on the field.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not good enough to stop you. And what did you do? You had to go to the back page of the playbook and start running all these cute little end around. It's just stop. And the only thing I think it was Daniel Hillman that asked me this. Have we propped Tua up too much?
Yes.
I think he's propped up by the offense and by the receivers.
No doubt. No doubt. Tua today, like yesterday, we were playing that fun little game where you were asking me if I would who was that? You were asking me if I would take Jalen Hurts. I think I told you I would take Tua over Jalen Hurts.
I did not agree with you.
And it wasn't until later that day that I thought about it, and I went, that might have been the dumbest thing I said that day. I mean, I have that moment a lot.
Oh, no doubt. You have one of those a day.
Yeah.
Usually it has to do with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and how you think they're even kind of relevant.
I mean, hey, leader spot for a playoff spot, so screw you.
Yeah, you're going to win the MAC of the NFL. Congratulations.
But yes, I think Tua obviously has been propped up by the weapons, but we thought, and the weapons are what they are, but the fact that he's been succeeding with them helped him out.
He also he has a weird way of making the critical mistake.
Mm-hmm, but then when they went to beast mode, the 70-point game, I think that's when it all turned. All of the fans of the NFL looked at Tua now and went, "Oh well, maybe that meant something." And now we're finding out, nah. not saying anything against the guy's character. He's, leader, winner, all of the things. We've seen him do that in his career in college. But as a pro, he's just fine.
So, fun game, and I'm curious how close you come on this.
Mm-hmm.
The Philadelphia Eagles was 7 games ago for the Miami Dolphins. Tua's played 7 games since then. NFL league average QBR is 50.
Mm-hmm.
How many times has Tua broken that in the last 7 games? How many times has he been over a 50 QBR?
I'll go 4.
It's 2.
Really?
Once against the New England Patriots, once against the Washington Commanders.
Interesting.
He was a 37.4 against the Jets. He was a 29.4 against the Titans last night. 38 against Vegas, 45.2 against Kansas City, 33.5 against Philadelphia.
Well, think about how much of his offense is being done by Raheem Mostert. How much of it is being done by the receivers, right? Like, okay. Yeah.
This is a running team that will pop you over the top every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the league is catching on to what Mike McDaniel's doing. The thing that would be the most unnerving to me is if you really paid attention to what I just said. So he was great against Washington. That's probably the worst pass defense in the league.
Yes.
If you had played that out for the entire year with no Chase Young, no Montez Sweat, that's probably the worst pass defense in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee's not great. You were terrible last night. The Jets are an elite defense, terrible offense. The Raiders are a bad defense. You've been bad against bad teams. I'm not real sure what to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
And now as we get closer to the playoffs, I guess I'm just looking around going, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Stroud, in theory, Tua Tagovailoa.
Mm-hmm.
One of these things is not like the others. One of these things just doesn't belong. We've overrated him to an insane point because he was putting up prodigious numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where you have to be really careful getting fooled by numbers. Yeah, he threw for a lot of yards. If you really break down what he's been over the last 2 months, it's a mediocre quarterback. It's a mediocre quarterback with a really good receiver. There's not much difference there between, I don't know, Tua Tagovailoa and Aiden O'Connell. And yes, I was being hyperbolic there to prove a point.
Right.
But I don't see this as a championship team. I didn't see it that way going into last night, and that really hasn't changed.
No. 28-27, Tennessee Titans over the Miami Dolphins. Now, on the flip side of that, I mean, the Tennessee Titans, Will Levis is the guy, right? You don't have any questions anymore?
It would be hard to, but watching Levis last night, it really gave me a pause for concern with some of the quarterbacks in this class. And I'm starting to develop a theory. You know how I feel about a good old-fashioned theory. And I really hammered one out last night watching Will Levis. And it plays into somebody that's coming out in this draft class this year.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
With a Chalupa Supreme, beefy 5-layer burrito, crunchy taco, cinnamon twist, and medium drink, Taco Bell's $5 Cravings Box is packed as ever and $5 as ever. Get one at Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for price and participation which vary. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
Welcome into this edition of CEOs You Should Know. I'm Mark Starling, and today we're talking with Jeff Furlan, CEO and owner of Hummingbird Insurance in Asheville. Jeff, what kind of charitable organizations does Hummingbird focus their efforts towards?
Well, we tend to focus our charity or our help on other organizations that focus on health or wellness in some way. Specifically, over the past few years, there are some food banks and also medical societies that we really like. And personally, I tend to like Bounty and Soul Food Bank that has very healthy, wholesome, a lot of farm fresh food locally. And then there's also Project Access, which provides medical consultations and possibly surgery to people that do not have the income and do not have coverage.
Thanks, Jeff. You've been listening to CEOs You Should Know, a short conversation with business leaders around Western North Carolina. To hear more of this conversation, just head to the audio archive of this station's website.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer, and some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate Razor, while others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
Hi, I can help whoever's
Cooper's
next.
overnight shipping company has to deliver the goods.
Ship these gifts to your grandkids.
They need a logistics manager to keep the wheels turning.
126 packages going to Toronto, Tuscaloosa, Montreal, and Minneapolis. Oh boy.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, guys?
We're back at the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville. Monday Night Football last night. Tennessee Titans, as Stone Sports Podcast puts it in the YouTube comments, says, I fell asleep after the second Mostert touchdown thinking that was a wrap, and little did I know that the Mayo man had some magic in his back pocket. Because it was the last 3 minutes of the game where, Will Levis stepped up, started making some throws. They drove down, scored twice in the last 3 minutes of the game.
There were two quarterbacks last night that played on Monday Night Football that are proof positive of why you have to watch the games, not just read a box score. Mm-hmm. Will Levis was the first. There's probably no quarterback in the NFL working with less of a receiver core than Will Levis. There may not be a rookie quarterback that I've ever seen that is playing behind a more mundane offensive line. Yes, Carolina, it's actually worse than yours. But Will Levis has a quality that I always really liked at Kentucky. Anybody that watched our draft coverage last year knows I was super high on Will Levis, and I still am. I had him ahead of Anthony Richardson. I had him ahead of C.J. Stroud. I had him at 2. He was behind Bryce Young. If I had to do all over again, he would still be 2. He would just be behind C.J. Stroud instead of Bryce Young. He's tougher than a pine knot. He got hit 100 times last night and just kept popping back up. And it really made me think about the upcoming draft class. And I'm always trying to evolve. All right, quarterbacks are really hard to evaluate because you have to be careful. Not everything is in a vacuum. And so what I have always done is mentally take quarterback A and put him in the situation of quarterback B. That's what I did with Will Levis and said, how good would he have been at Ohio State and how good would C.J. Stroud have been at Kentucky? Where I boo-boo kittied this is that I did it with Bryce Young, but I thought he was so prodigious that it wouldn't matter. It does. Bryce Young had every advantage you could possibly want. Will Levis had none. Will Levis is rawer than any of the quarterbacks not named Anthony Richardson that were in this last class. So how do you translate that moving forward? The only player I could think about last night as I watched this was Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
People are going to mess the evaluation up on him because his receivers were elite. I mean, Malik Neighbors is going to be a top 15 pick. Brian Thomas Jr. is probably going to be a top 25 to 30 pick. So, yes, you did have two really good receivers. You also had one of the worst defenses I've ever seen. So you were in shootouts constantly. And so I am now willing to say Jaden Daniels is going to be the number one quarterback on my board when it comes out in a couple weeks.
Wow.
Drake May will be 2, and Caleb Williams will be 3.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm starting to think that Caleb Williams has some of the same problems that Bryce Young does, and that Jaden Daniels is way more Will Levis. Not that their games are similar, in that what was around them and what I see on tape. What everybody got wrong with Will Levis was, well, the stats weren't good. He also lost every receiver that was competent off that team, had a new offensive coordinator, and lost 4 linemen that played in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So he falls like a rock, and everybody immediately says, oh, see, you were stupid. No, I wasn't stupid. And I guarantee you there are a lot of teams that didn't take a quarterback and need a quarterback that look at Will Levis and go, man, you give that kid a year and he's going to be really, really good. You know how I know that? Because I send text messages to a lot of people around the NFL and vice versa. And I got that exact same message 4 separate times last night of when this kid has a team around him, he's going to be really, really, really good. You're just going to have to be patient.
Mm-hmm.
Because the special, I've now seen special from Will Levis twice. I haven't seen it from Bryce Young one time. Not once.
Yep.
I saw really bad from C.J. Stroud on Sunday against a great defense with no receivers. Don't overreact to what you saw out of C.J. Stroud. Don't overreact to the box scores with Will Levis. It's not going to be beautiful. It won't be beautiful next year because you need 2 full drafts to put around him. I'm not going to say competent because DeAndre Hopkins is a good receiver. He's not a great receiver. I don't think he's barely a number 1 in this league at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Your 2 is any good team's 4.
Yes.
Okoronkwo or Chikakonkwo, excuse me. He hasn't developed the way that I wanted him to. He's still fine. He's way more Jonnu Smith than I want him to be. But there's no weapons there. And Will Levis took what was given to him. He made 2 horrifically bad decisions. Hey, Tennessee, stop running screens. Just don't do that anymore. Take every screen out of the playbook because they're all bad. And he does not do that well, and he never really has.
Yep.
But in terms of raw talent, if you can't see the talent in Will Levis, I can't help you. Yeah, there's bad. He's a rookie on a terrible team. But he's a rookie on a terrible team with a really good coach that is about the safest person on the planet. Mm-hmm. The Mike Vrabel is going to get fired or he's going to get traded to New England. I've laughed at every one of those rumors and will continue to. Because I could make the argument Mike Vrabel might be the franchise player of the Tennessee Titans right now. When you're coached that well, they're not anywhere in the ballpark of the Miami Dolphins. Nobody watched that game last night and went, talent for talent. They're real close. No. You got lucky that Miami fell apart in the last 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. But you now have a quarterback that can push the ball down the field, and when you put actual talent around him, he's going to be fine. And that division moving forward is going to be – it'll be Thunderdome.
It'll be real fun.
I want you to just think about what's in that division.
Mm-hmm.
You got Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Will Levis. Trevor Lawrence is the oldest quarterback in that division.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be fun for a real long time. It's not beautiful right now. You may have a second team make the playoffs this year, whether it's the Colts or the Texans. That's still to be seen.
Right.
But moving forward, this could be the AFC North in 2 years.
It could be. Because the quarterback play has the potential to be that good. Right now, I don't know what you got. I don't know if we're going to keep seeing this out of Will Levis. I don't know if we're going to keep seeing this, or we're going to see, the early shades that we saw from
it will be
Anthony
inconsistent
Richardson next year. I mean, yeah, it's
with Levis, it's going to be inconsistent because you don't have anybody that can win.
Mm-hmm. Every development has its ups and downs. We all know that.
I would not like this.
Teams be around.
Not like this. Levis was put in a worse situation than any quarterback I've seen in a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
But the good thing of that is he was put in the exact same situation at Kentucky. He's already done this. I mean, he knew he was going to get hit 20 times last night because the line is awful. Bradley Chubb, by the way, I don't know that I've ever seen a player get flagged for the unsportsmanlike conduct for ripping their helmet off on the field like that. To spike it on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those, if I'm Mike McDaniel, I'd have to go, hey, were you stupid?
Yeah, they're definitely going to throw a flag on that every time.
I don't think I've ever seen a player do that on the field, though. I see them do it on the sideline. I don't think I've ever seen a player do it on the field.
Yeah.
I've seen them take it off in celebration. I've never seen them take it off to spike it on the ground. And as soon as he did it, I went, uh-oh, that's not good. You should not have done that. And they scored, and it changes things.
Well, I was going to say, it's dumb things like that I look at a team and I go, see, that's the things that kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that make a good team a bad team.
It's weird. The most penalized teams in the league almost always tend to be mediocre to bad.
Mm-hmm.
And there will always be one that's up there. This year it's the Dallas Cowboys. That's really good, and yet you see them at the top of the most penalized list.
Yep.
And it makes no sense. Dallas is that this year.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. When we come back from the break, it'll be time to get just a bit outside, counting down here to the power rankings for Week 15 coming up at the top of the hour.
And then it's time to talk about, he's your guy. He's my guy. He's
hey,
forget about it. Tommy Cullits out there with the dub for the New York Football Giants.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
High pressure on our Tuesday weather app will stay on our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday weather app, and maybe even longer. Chance of rain toward the end of the weekend. Going to be close, though. Low pressure coming out of the Gulf is going to bring some rain into the southeast. The question is going to be where. Sunny 50 today. Tonight, some clouds in the mid-20s. Colder areas colder. And then it's sunshine tomorrow and Thursday, low 50s. Friday, sunshine, mid-50s. And, yeah, that chance of rain toward the end of the weekend. Ray Stajic, a Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. With a Chalupa Supreme, beefy 5-layer burrito, crunchy taco, cinnamon twist, and medium drink, Taco Bell's $5 Cravings Box is packed as ever. And $5 as ever. Get one at Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for price and participation which vary. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
My court date is on Wednesday.
That's no joke. You don't want your driver's license suspended or any additional fines.
Upcoming court date? Sign up at buncomnc.courtdates.org to receive text reminders so you don't miss court. That's buncomnc.courtdates.org.
Hear that? That's the sound of new digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Now you can play right from your phone and win real cash prizes. It may all sound new, but winning, oh yeah, big money, is as thrilling as ever. Register to play digital instants for a whole new way to win. Must be 18 to play. See prize and odds charts at nclottery.com/digital-instants for details. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
At Tyson Furniture, they have a huge selection of furniture, honest values, and great service. They're a big store, and Black Mountain has wonderful restaurants and interesting shops to explore. Visit them at Tyson Furniture in Black Mountain, where beautiful homes begin.
The free iHeartRadio app is your home for the holidays. Open the app and click on the holiday banner, or search iHeart Holiday and start listening to your local holiday station. Plus stations playing all kinds of holiday music, Christmas classics, Christmas jazz, country, R&B, tons of playlists, even podcasts. Yay! Our gift to you, the perfect holiday soundtrack. Join the millions of listeners on the iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
At Ingles Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
We're in the Ingles studio here on ESPN Asheville. And, yeah, baseball, it's doing things. And just for a second, Jeremy, bear with me. I know you heard Shohei Ohtani has gotten the bag of all bags.
Whoa.
A 10-year, $700 million contract. The interesting part about this, though, is that it came out yesterday that he is actually deferring $68 million of his salary every year to be paid later. And when I say later, I mean 2034 later. From 2034 to 2043, the Dodgers will pay him $680 million. 97% of his earnings are being pushed off because, well, you can, right? This is the salary cap magic of the NFL creeping into Major League Baseball here, because the Los Angeles Dodgers are looking at the tax.
Oh, yeah, this is not salary cap magic. This is salary cap stupidity.
We don't want to pay the tax for having Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani. So they're deferring money on their contracts so that they could be paid later, and you don't have to pay the luxury tax or whatever they call it.
Fantastic. Do you understand how credit card debt works? You get that, right? So you pay for something, and then you keep having to pay for it for a long time after it's actually been useful to you.
Yes.
That's how you end up like the Monopoly man with your pockets pulled out going, oh, I don't have any more money. You said that NFL salary cap. Trust me, no NFL team would ever do anything like this because it is incredibly stupid.
Wait, we already do this, though. I mean,
not 10 years down the line.
No, not 10 years down the line, but you already do this with the dead years and the pushing the
void years,
yeah,
yes,
all that stuff.
Yeah, that's 2 years down the line. There's a big difference in the two. I saw this and went, "Hey, you manipulated stupid baseball rules. Awesome." Did you not learn anything from Bobby Bonilla? That really didn't. Okay, yeah, that's a great idea. Paying a guy until he's almost 50 years old. How could that ever go wrong?
It didn't. It saved him money. Saved him a lot of money in the meantime.
The only thing I've heard that makes this make any sense is that if you think the dollar is going to continue to get devalued and $68 million is not as much 20 years from now, okay, that I'll give you. What happens if the ownership group falls on hard times? Oh, and you've already got $100 million committed to your salary cap 10 years from now. I'm just saying. Things happen.
I mean, they are the Dodgers.
I got that.
They'll always make money.
Yeah, but not, hey, we've already got $100 million committed to guys that won't be on this roster. That makes absolutely no. The more you say it out loud, well, they're avoiding the tax. Okay. How much do you think it's going to cost to actually put this roster on the field? Also, how much money do you actually think these baseball teams make? I mean, nobody watches the games. I got the ratings.
When you consider that it's the Dodgers, yeah, I don't see how this puts them at a disadvantage.
It doesn't right now, but it can. You always got to remember, the people that own these teams are still people. They could make a really stupid business decision, and all of a sudden, Monopoly man.
Yep.
Uh-oh, I don't have $40 jillion anymore.
Hey, and if it does, so what?
They're
billionaires, and I'm not going to feel sorry for them.
I didn't say feel sorry for them. I said this is probably not going to end well. Now, the chances that I'm long dead by the time this is it's pretty high.
Could happen.
So
it could happen.
I probably won't be here to tell you I told you so, but 17 years from now, when we look at a Dodgers cap sheet and go, hey, they're paying that guy that retired 12 years ago $68 million.
Well, the only way that this makes sense, right, is if you win. right? If you're doing this just to continue to get to the World Series and not win, or to compete for National League championships and not World Series, then it's going to be a majorly stupid move.
Speaking of majorly stupid moves, I have two of them. I actually have two outside stories. The first one comes from the University of Michigan. It's not about Jim Harbaugh. It's not about the football team. It's about their basketball team. Juwan Howard has a problem with he's very punchy.
Yes.
He did it again. And this time, it was one of his own coaches.
Just kick him out, man.
This is from The Athletic. A confrontation between Howard and longtime Michigan strength and conditioning coach John Sanderson in a team practice late last week is being explored and going through a university review process. Maybe you remember that he's on a zero-tolerance policy because he punched a Wisconsin assistant coach last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how he comes back from this. I really don't. Sanderson didn't travel with the team to Iowa. He's not returning phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
Something's up. Mm-hmm. Something is super sour here, and there's a great chance that Juwan Howard is bye-bye.
He should be. They seriously considered it the first time. I feel very certain about that.
Well, I mean, this is just who he is. This is who he was as an NBA player, too.
Well,
he was the enforcer. Why are you shocked that now as a coach he still wants to be that guy?
Because at some point you have to grow up, right? Like, I have this talk with my 12-year-old sons of at some point you got to get it through your head that you can't just hit people because you don't like how they looked at you or because you don't like what they said or they said something that ticked you off. How old is Juwan Howard that we have to be having this conversation, right? And it's and to me, it's worse that it's not in his personal life. Not that that makes it any better, but he's doing it on the court, during games, during practices, when you're supposed to act like a professional.
Oh, so you're saying he did something really stupid?
Yeah.
Hey, that leads into my second story, and it's about your school, the University of Georgia. There's a report that's floating around that Dylan Raiola is about to decommit from Georgia and head to Nebraska.
Yay.
That's not unheard of. Now, I find it really strange that he wants to go to Nebraska. I also found it pretty strange that he wanted to go to Georgia in the first place, because there's a lot of impediments to you playing anytime soon.
That tells me those Nebraska boosters were listening to Matt Rule.
Yeah, they ponied up some dollars, because I'm going to say Dylan Raiola probably cost you $1 or two.
Yeah.
But that's not why I'm telling this story. Why I'm telling this story, it comes from something called Dogs Hall. It's a message board for Georgia Bulldog fans. And a user named Laguna Dog that posted a now viral message asking, does anyone here work at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport? This dude was trying to go full James Bond. He said that the last flight to Nebraska leaves at 2:21. It's a Delta flight. It's on Friday because allegedly that's when Raiola is going to visit Nebraska.
Okay.
So he was trying to find somebody that works at the airport to shut down the plane so that he couldn't get to Nebraska and flip his commitment.
Laguna Dog.
Yeah, Laguna Dog. You should really understand that when you hit send, it's real easy to figure out where that came from. And what you're talking about here is a felony.
Yes, crimes.
You ought not do that.
We don't do crimes.
At the end of it, he said, I'm just spitballing ideas, but if anyone has anything else, they would be appreciated.
I'm just
spitballing ideas to commit federal aviation fraud.
No doubt.
Hey, if he worked for the Dallas Cowboys, he'd probably do it. Tell you that story later in the show.
Gonna sabotage the plane so it can't take off. So Dylan Raiola will what? Put off his business meeting for an hour and a half?
Oh, you mean I can't go Friday?
Oh, shoot.
Oh, shoot. Does Saturday still exist? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I'll be just fine.
Can we just do this on Zoom? I'm pretty sure you can show me a corn stalk and I'll get the gist of the area. Okay?
Corn cob, bag of money.
Exactly.
How do you feel about Nebraska now,
In fact,
Dylan?
if you will hand me some roasted corn wrapped in money, I would, I'll accept that as well.
Speaking of corn, I have to give this pub, because this is an Asheville restaurant, they pay me $0. Last night, Amy and I went to Haywood Commons. It's a restaurant over on Haywood Road. it is rare that I look at food and go, that's not even of this world.
Mm-hmm.
You had to put crimes in that because it tasted entirely too good.
What'd you have?
Southern fried chicken breast with some kind of coleslaw that it had something in it. It didn't taste exactly like coleslaw, but it was lovely.
Okay.
A hot honey jalapeno cornbread
Mm-hmm.
and some bacon collard greens.
Sounds
It was
great.
phenomenal. I literally made myself feel ill. I ate so much of it. So good.
Awesome.
They pay me $0 but if you're looking for it's an interesting place because you don't actually have you have a waiter kind of, but you order at a window.
Okay.
So there's somebody at the register that you order your food from before you sit down. Then you sit down and it's like a sit down restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of small, but the food is out of bounds good.
Do you get your own drink?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you don't get your no. They bring that to you.
Oh, you just order it
I
at
had
the window
beer.
and
We
go
had
sit
beers.
down, and then
Because they have some house-made beers in there. I had a Pilsner that was lovely. And the people watching, shiskies. If you're ever on Haywood Road in Asheville and you just look around and go, what is the matter? Is there a gas leak on this side of town? What is wrong with you people?
Right. And you said
None of you have, like, normal people hair colors.
Right.
I saw a green, a blue, and a color that I'm pretty sure is not on any form of color wheel.
Right.
I don't know what you were aiming for, but I don't think it ended where you wanted.
And you said it was on Haywood Road over near Calvary.
Yes.
Church.
Yeah, you have to park in the church parking lot and make sure that you notice the sign that they don't really tell you. It says, hey, you can park over here. You have to pay to park over there. And thankfully I noticed that, or we might have been walking back to Woodford.
I got a great chuckle when Jeremy told me earlier. I asked, where is it? He said Haywood Road over by the church. I don't know if you know this, Jeremy.
There's 100 churches.
But at one point in time, Haywood Road was in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most churches on the shortest street. So
I did not know that.
So I thought that was absolutely hilarious that you said Haywood Road by the church. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to go check it out. Haywood Commons.
Very good.
They pay us no money.
They pay us $0, although they could.
Yeah, right.
It's real easy to find me, Jeremy at thesportsocracy.com. But yeah, anytime anybody that's making food that good, you deserve your kudos because I ate that until I almost became physically ill.
Last night, Monday Night Football, the legend continues.
Hey, Tommy Cutlets!
Old Tommy DeVito comes up with the win.
And his agent shows up looking like Polly Walnuts, which I don't understand. I mean, I get why you did it.
Of course you do.
I think it was Stone that said his agent, I refuse to believe he looks like that. Of course he doesn't. Nobody looks like that.
No.
Nobody dresses like that on a daily basis. He looked like Frank Zappa in that video for Zoot Suit Riot. It was ridiculous. Of course he did it on purpose. That's how they were dressed.
That was not Frank Zappa, but okay.
I thought that was who did that song.
No.
Oh, no, it's
he
Big
was
Bad
dead
Voodoo
by
Daddy.
then. Yeah, he was
That
dead.
was Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. Don't ask me how I got those two confused.
I
I don't know.
I do not know. Either.
Secret time, I'm not 100% sure I know who Frank Zappa is.
I'm pretty sure you don't, judging by that. But, yeah, so, I mean, the guy's name is Sean Stellato. Sean Stellato shows up with his mafia suit and the gold chain hanging down. He's got the mafia hat on. He's on the cell phone. I mean, he has the look of a guy right out of a movie.
Oh, no
and
doubt.
that is why the New York crowd is just eating this up. Because they should, right? It's a feel-good story for a fan base. When you have nothing else to point to your season
That's
and go,
the point.
There's something here. You can go, hey, at least if we're going to suck, we can have some local kid play
There
the
it is.
hero and win
Local
some
kid.
games.
That's where this came from.
Yeah.
If this kid was from Montana, nobody would care.
No.
It's all the shtick.
Mm-hmm.
Of course none of this is real. Yes, his dad really does look like that. And his dad, I feel very sure, has worked a handful of union jobs that he never showed up for. They were just, you're going to pay, and we're not going to do it. Hey, forget about it. But it's fine. It's fine. It's a fun little story.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, you got to win. Awesome.
It is a great story. But I don't hear anybody. Everybody's treating this for what it is. Nobody's jumping to conclusions here, right? Nobody's going, oh, Tommy DeVito, he's the guy, right? throws Daniel Jones out the window.
Oh, I
don't think anybody's going down that path.
Don't be so sure of that. There are Giant fans that really hate Daniel Jones. The problem is that you can't get out of that deal. That's the reason I don't have you taking a quarterback in the top 10. That's the reason. I mean, yeah, Tommy DeVito is going to be on this roster. He'll probably be the backup quarterback. But is he a threat to Daniel Jones? No. This is a fun story that'll last for a couple weeks.
Yes.
And guess what? I'm a lifelong New York sports fan. If Tommy Cutlets comes out and goes 7 for 22 next week, guess what? They'll boo him out of the building by the end of the third quarter. Because that's what we do in New York.
Well, no, they'll actually cheer him next week because he'll be in New Orleans. So then the crowd will just be so happy if he does that next week. But the Giants this is a fun little story here for the end of the season, right? You've won, 3 in a row?
Yeah, against 3 bad teams. But
we beat the Commanders, the Patriots, and the Packers. We get a nice little 3-game win streak here.
Sweet.
Might be a 4-game win streak going to the Saints. You never know.
Awesome. That's sweet. You beat 3 bad teams. The bigger story here from me is, and I'm going to ask this, and no judgment. Some of you Packer fans, does Jordan Love have naked pictures of you doing something just horrible?
Are you still fighting with him?
Oh, God. Every day. It never stops. I'm afraid one of them's going to show up at my house, and I'm going to have to, hey, I'm going to teach you a Tommy Cutlets lesson about showing up at my house. I don't understand it. I don't see how you don't see this. Last night, Jordan Love did exactly the same thing that I told you he was going to do. Yes, he had a series of good games. Last night, he was genuinely god-awful. He threw one of the worst interceptions you'll ever see. Threw it off his back foot, which he keeps doing. Mechanics are undefeated in this league. Nobody can beat it forever. And I told you last week, he had been good. I don't know if he had a Ouija board or if he's friends with a witch. This is not sustainable. He is slightly better than I thought he was. I always knew he had a quality arm. Mechanically, he is a disaster. And what does that mean? It means that the mundane becomes not so mundane. I showed Tank a clip before the show of him missing on a swing pass. It was from here to the wall, and he missed it by 3 full yards. You know why? Because your throwing motion is not replicated every time you do it. You like to fall down. You like to throw things at weird arm angles. You're not good enough for that. You're a mediocre quarterback. It's what you are. Every person in the NFL sees this, except for the most delusional of Packer fans. His good is fine. His bad is atrocious. And last night, you took a defense that has been beaten like a kettle drum all year long. You couldn't score. You couldn't score. And there was a play, it was the one that I showed Tank, where you can see on Matt LaFleur's face. This is what I am committed to. My career is tied to Jordan Love, and I know how this is going to end. So if you don't believe me, which is fine, I'm just a talking head on the radio, maybe believe your front office that didn't believe in him for 3 years and kept dealing with Aaron Rodgers until it became so untenable that they had to do something else. Also, look at the fact of, I'll ask the same question I asked last week. You get that this is going to cost you $40-something million a year, right? He can't win on a consistent basis, making damn near no money. What do you think's going to happen when he gets paid? This ain't hard to figure out. One of the things I love about football is that I'm a big moron, and I can figure this out quite simply. It's a mediocre quarterback that you're going to have to pay big boy money. Hey, do me a favor. Look on the other sideline last night and realize that they just did the same thing.
Yes.
That team that's playing Joe Pesci from Goodfellas, which is what we're portraying this guy as, that team just did the same thing. And it will go horrifically for you if you do it. I'm tired of arguing with you because you keep giving me the same argument. And if I hear one more person say, he doesn't know ball, that is the stupidest comment that anybody makes. And there are like a handful of you that say that every single week. I hate to tell you this, scoreboard, because I'm currently beating you 247,000 to nothing. So it just scoreboard. I've been historically very accurate on this, and I've never been more convinced. Jordan Love's fine. He will be the 17th to 20th best quarterback in this league. If you think that's going to win you Super Bowls, you're out of your mind. The only shot you ever had of it winning you Super Bowls was when he didn't make any money. And he's about to. That's the reason you don't take quarterbacks in the first round with no intention of playing them for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense. And you paint yourself into this corner, and you're stuck. Because what else are you going to do? You're not bad enough to get the high-end quarterback. You're not good enough to win at a high level. You're 6-7. And you're walking around with this just ridiculous big energy of, no, we're great. No, you're not. You just lost to Tommy DeVito. Calm it down, okay? Get you a nice Gouda, maybe a cheddar, a Vermont or a Wisconsin cheddar, and just realize what you are. You might sneak in the playoffs as a 7. You're going to play one of those good teams, and they're going to hurt your feelings for 60 minutes on national television.
It is the Sportsocracy, this ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We've got the Power Rankings on a Power Rankings Tuesday coming up after the top of the hour here. Stick with us.
We're like Drake. We start from the bottom, and now we're here.
The Ingalls Giving Tree, benefiting Manna Food Bank, will be on display at the Asheville Mall as a reminder of the needs of so many families in western North Carolina. Drop off non-perishable items in the donation barrels at all Ingalls locations, donate online or at the Ingalls Giving Tree at Asheville Mall so Manna Food Bank can reach everyone who needs help. Nothing can hold back the holiday spirit of giving in western North Carolina. Please help Ingalls Market, iHeartRadio Asheville, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times ensure Manna Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this holiday season.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
The Sportsocracy.
We're just dumping a bag of hammers.
Summit Dental is accepting new patients. At Summit, they submit insurance on your behalf and provide you with estimates, so you have everything you need to make an informed treatment decision. They also work with Care Credit, and they're happy to help you apply. Care Credit helps you pay for out-of-pocket healthcare expenses. See why Summit Dental has so many 5-star reviews on Google. Book today at AshevilleSummitDental.com. In-house savings programs are also available. Book online at AshevilleSummitDental.com.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product and don't know what to do next? Inventors, InventHelp can help you get started with your idea. Call 1-800-INVENTION or go to InventHelp.com to get your free inventors information. They can help you try to patent your idea and submit it to companies. Get started with your idea today at InventHelp.com. InventHelp is the leading invention service company. With offices nationwide, they've been helping inventors since 1984. Inventors received more than 10,000 patents through their patent referral services. Don't wait to get started with your idea. For free information, contact your friends at InventHelp. Go to InventHelp.com or call 1-800-INVENTION. That's InventHelp.com or call 1-800-INVENTION. They help everyday inventors just like you. Additional services include invention websites, prototype models, technical drawings, and more. They keep your idea confidential and explain every step of their invention services. Remember, that's InventHelp.com. InventHelp.com.
You've been miserable with joint pain for so long. You want and deserve relief, but you keep putting off that call to QC Kinetics. Now's the time because QC Kinetics is rolling out something huge. It's a voucher for $500 off your first joint pain treatment. Whether it's your knees, hips, shoulder, or back, the QC Kinetics voucher applies to any area. This is a limited time offer. QC Kinetics is the largest regenerative clinic in the country with tens of thousands of satisfied patients who are able to get lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Reach out to the team at QC Kinetics today and ask them, how can I get a $500 off voucher? They'll walk you through the steps and get you started on your way to relief. Don't wait. This is a limited time offer. Call for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 with locations in Asheville and in Greenville. Again, 828-333-9517. Limited time only, not valid with any other offer.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
High pressure on our Tuesday weather app will stay on our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday weather app, and maybe even longer. Chance of rain toward the end of the weekend. Going to be close, though. Low pressure coming out of the Gulf is going to bring some rain into the southeast. The question is going to be where. Sunny 50 today. Tonight, some clouds in the mid-20s. Colder areas colder. And then it's sunshine tomorrow and Thursday, low 50s. Friday, sunshine, mid-50s. And, yeah, that chance of rain toward the end of the weekend. Ray Stajic, the Weather Channel.
The holidays are the happiest time of the year. That is, unless you or your loved ones are miserable because of colds, sinus infections, or allergies. This holiday season, give the gift of better breathing with Navage. What makes Navage so effective? Well, unlike cold and allergy drugs that might take a long time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage provides fast relief from sinus congestion in 30 seconds flat. Navage doesn't just relieve symptoms, it attacks the cause by sucking out the germs, allergens, and viruses trapped in your nose that are making you feel miserable. Best of all, Navage does it naturally, without drugs. Wash away your cold and congestion problems this holiday season. Add Navage to your gift list so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
This is Carolina basketball.
2-on-1. Baycott finishes the transition hammer. R.J. Davis, he's going to try a quick three. Yes, from the right sideline.
On the Tar Heels Sports Network.
Ends up to Baycott, and he gets the run out. Two-handed flush. Carolina, it's Davis. He's fouled, and give him it.
This is your radio home for the Tar Heels.
Asheville's home for the Tar Heels is ESPN Asheville.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate Razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls Studio.
It is the Sportsocracy, and we are live in the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and we're heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app, and you can see us everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat, get your thoughts in on today's Power Rankings.
And today we're going to do something a little different with the Power Rankings. 3-round mock drafts are coming out. They will be filtering out starting today. Because, see, Jeremy's an idiot and didn't apparently know what the date was. So I set them to go out, and then I went home, and I didn't realize that none of them went out. And then I saw scheduled to do it. Well, we boo-booed. Boo-booed.
That ain't the first time a publish the next day has happened.
Yeah. See, that's the thing about YouTube. Hey, YouTube, if I'm publishing it, probably want it to go out today.
Right.
Don't give me tomorrow, because I don't think to look at that. And then I see the date and go, oh, we're hunky-dunky.
Uh-huh.
Stupid.
All right, so look forward for those to start today.
But what we're going to do as we unveil the power rankings is we're going to talk about the team, and we'll tell you who the first player that you take in the draft is.
Okay.
In that 3-round draft.
All right, starting from the bottom. Now we're here.
You know, there's only one team that it can be, and it's your Carolina Panthers.
They're bad, and they don't have their number one pick.
Yeah, you want me to make it worse? Not only did you draft a quarterback that has been, buddy bad, your first pick's not till 33. The first player that you take in my 3-round mock draft is Troy Franklin, the wide receiver out of Oregon. Because you got to have somebody.
Yep.
I mean, you have nobody that can catch. It's geriatric Adam Thielen. End of message. Repeat the line. Jonathan Mingo. He shows up every now and then, but he's still a rookie. DJ Chark. I'm not 100% sure that he doesn't have frying pans for hands. He can't catch anything. He should be playing for the Kansas City Chiefs. What do you have, 3 drops on Sunday? Ugh. It's not good. It's not good.
No, but that's a hell of a player to get.
Hey, that's the good thing if you're Carolina. This is a tremendous wide receiver draft. Now, ask me about offensive line.
What about the offensive line?
There's a few guys that'll go in round number 1. Unfortunately, you will not be joining us for that round based on the trade from last year. So, I mean, you want a silver lining?
Mm-hmm. Please.
Pass.
Ain't one. You don't have a tackle that would be worth taking with that 33 pick?
I mean, I have them taking another tackle in the 3rd round, but the chances of a tackle falling to you at 33 is just not real high.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma that I don't love, but I'm in like with. I mean, Jordan Morgan out of Arizona, maybe he's there at 33. Maybe. And if he is, that's probably what you take, and you try to sign a receiver. Yeah. Or wait until the 3rd round, take one there. But it's bleak times in Carolina town.
Number 31.
They got a win last week.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't overly impressive, and they're still the 2nd worst team in the NFL. The New England Patriots.
No credit.
No
credit at all.
No. And trust me, we're not getting off this screen before we see Pittsburgh. This will be the lowest a 7-win team has ever been in a power rankings ever, and I wanted them lower. But, I mean, the good thing for New England is that I feel pretty sure you're going to have a new head coach. I don't think you can do this all over again with Bill. I have them taking Drake May, the quarterback out of Carolina, at 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a path. I struggle to see Robert Kraft falling for Caleb Williams. I just don't believe it. The character issues, some of the things I've heard behind closed doors, and you watch the tape, and I just don't see it. So who the coach is going to be, I don't know. But I think you start the rebuild with a legit quarterback. Look, Bailey Zapp is fine. And no, I'm not calling him Zappy. You want to be Zappy, put a Y on the end of your name. Spell your name correctly, I'll pronounce it the way you want me to. He's fine. I think he's a decent backup. Did you happen to hear Trent Brown's comment today?
No.
So the Baltimore Ravens signed Malik Cunningham.
Yeah.
He was on the practice squad of the Patriots. The Ravens signed him, reunited him with Lamar Jackson. They were teammates at Louisville for a year. They asked Trent Brown what he thought about that, and he said, go flourish somewhere that they'll respect your talent. That's pretty damning coming from your starting tackle, who's a veteran.
Yeah, but, I mean, this has been the complaint of every guy that's played for New England, right?
It's been a pretty consistent one.
Mm-hmm. The Bill doesn't respect the players or their talents. If he doesn't see a place for you, then bye. See you later.
David Beckerman said he's a Patriots fan, and he is very happy about the way things are going, and that Drake is way better for the Patriots. I agree. I think Drake May is going to be an excellent pro. He is my number 2 quarterback in the class.
Mm-hmm. This is the high side, though, for that 2 spot is the high side for Jaden, right?
I don't think he can go that high. I don't think an NFL team will take him over Drake May. They might. He's an incredibly impressive kid.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be some things that come out of Arizona State that are going to be a little – there's a video that's trending around right now that some of his teammates cleared out his locker and we're calling him a bum, and that'll have to be dug into. But I love the tape on Jaden Daniels, and I think he was fantastic at LSU. Mm-hmm. But Drake May, to me, is a – you also got to think about playing in cold weather. And I think Drake throws a ball that is better in cold weather than Jaden Daniels. There is a place I want to see Jaden Daniels land, and don't worry, we're going to talk about it real soon.
Number 30.
This is where it got a little difficult because there's not a lot of separation between these teams. The Washington Commanders. Yeah. You're B-A-double-D bad.
Yeah.
Defensively, awful.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Didn't play this week. Dropped 6 spots in the power rank.
I should have dropped him last week.
Yeah, you should have.
I should have dropped him last week. Yeah. I looked at so when I pulled up the file form to do this, I went, how in the world did I have Washington that high?
Well, I mean, I get it. You still want to believe in the talent that's on that team. The problem is they cannot block a nosebleed. They cannot defend.
Block a nosebleed?
Yeah. Isn't that what I said? Stop a nosebleed.
There you go. Let's say I don't know how you block a nosebleed.
You block it, whatever.
I blocked a nosebleed on Instagram because it was sending me trolling messages about Jordan Love.
Whatever those cliches are, they can't do any of them.
No, this team's not very. It's not very good, but I think it can get better in a hurry. There's talent on the team. Your offensive line is just so bad. I think you found your franchise quarterback. I love Sam Howell. He was my number one quarterback in that class. I think you stick with him. I don't think they would take Caleb Williams or Drake May, even if they fell to him. Even if either one of those guys fell to them. I have them taking Joe Alt, the offensive tackle out of Notre Dame. A lot of people talk about him being too tall, and that to me is real stupid.
Too tall.
There are some people that don't like. I mean, he's 6'8".
Yeah.
And there are some NFL evaluators that don't like tackles that tall because they don't think they can bend. Yeah. And really bendy edge rushers are going to get around them, which I immediately go, hey, how tall was Jordan Gross? Hey, how tall was Joe Thomas? Okay. You see how in one sentence I said your argument is stupid.
Number 29.
The Arizona Cardinals. Just keep losing. That's all you got to do. Just keep losing. I really like their coach. I think Jonathan Gannon's a really good coach. But I look at their too deep on defense and just go, yeah, you don't have nearly enough talent.
No, and when he took this job, he knew that. And I think we said this at the time. Like he probably got the same deal, right, that Dan Campbell got.
Oh, he's very safe. This is going to
be a 5-year deal. This is you are going to have all the ability to build something. This is going to take time. He ain't done it yet, right?
Right, and they've got 2 picks in the first round. I've got them taking Liatu Latu, the edge rusher out of UCLA, and then another player that you'll have to tune into their 3-round mock draft to see. It's another defensive player. Marvin Harrison, he's not available to you. Because you'll find out why soon enough.
Just have to wait and see. At number 28.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, 7 wins.
They're the worst 7-win team in NFL history. Not close, not even in the ballpark of close. And Tank and I talked about the Steelers a lot this morning when we were doing the power rankings, and I asked one very simple question. You got boat raced by the New England Patriots and by the Arizona Cardinals. Who the hell is it that I think you would beat? Really? Yeah. You lost both those games at home. It'd be one thing if it was just a one-off.
Both of them.
You lost them both and got annihilated in both of them.
Yeah. At home.
At home. Literally every advantage went your way. We just penciled those in as wins. And you got killed. This team is terrible. Terrible.
By far the worst job or the worst team that Mike Tomlin has ever had.
No doubt. And this will break the undefeated streak. You'll never have to hear that again because they're not winning another game.
Yeah, the streak of never having a losing season in real jeopardy. They go at the Indianapolis Colts, then Cincinnati Bengals in Pittsburgh. Then they go to the Seahawks and to the Ravens to end the season. I don't think you can beat any of those teams. If you can get one, does it make you feel better?
No.
No, you're 8-9.
I want to keep losing because the problem is right now you would still technically make the playoffs, which means you wouldn't be picking until 23. That's not beneficial. The good thing is if you just keep losing, you probably get all the way up to about 11, which would change this quite drastically.
Yeah.
I have them taking Talisa Fuaga, the right tackle out of Oregon State, who, by the way, I absolutely love this kid. You remember all the things I said about Ike Ekwonu?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he fits into all that. Same guy. He could be a decent left tackle. I think he would be a better left tackle than Ekwonu is. Be a really good right tackle and could be one of the best guards in the NFL. Pittsburgh needs to get Broderick Jones to the left side because Dan Moore's awful.
Yep.
And the more he plays, the more I go, how are we still doing this? You have weapons. The offensive weapons are fine.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to consistently run the ball. And defensively, I'd love to have a corner, but you're picking too low. So you want a reason to lose? That's the reason we did this with 4 weeks left in the season.
Mm-hmm.
You want a reason to lose? There's a bunch of corners up there. You really need to go get one of them.
I'd love to have a quarterback for that team.
Yeah, there's not one of those.
Can we get one of those?
Unless you feel better about Bo Nix than you do about Kenny Pickett, which I'm going to need you to explain in quite intimate detail.
I'm going to need somebody who can play that quarterback position a little better.
You ever seen that meme of the old guy with the red shirt and he's holding up his Christmas present and it's the same shirt? That's Bo Nix and Kenny Pickett. We got a new version of the same crap. Or build the team around it.
Mm-hmm. Number 27.
The New York Football Giants and Tommy DeVito. You're still not good.
Mm-mm.
You beat 2 really bad teams and 1 mediocre team. And great. It's a good story. That's awesome. You should stop winning now because you've already fallen to 8. And I don't know if you know this, but you're many players away. I have them taking Malik Neighbors, the wide receiver at LSU. I think there are going to be 3 receivers going in the top 10. Marvin Harrison, and no, he's not coming back to Ohio State. I've been asked that question like 100 times over the last week. No, he's not coming back to Ohio State. The $20 million thing is not true. That was a rumor, which is how we reported it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rumor.
Mm-hmm.
It's not true.
Not true.
He will be in the draft.
Okay.
And I think Malik Neighbors is just a step behind him as a prospect. I mean, you've got to try to make this work with Daniel Jones. I mean, you're paying him $46 million.
No doubt. I can't.
And once the line is healthy, I mean, it's one thing when you're missing your left tackle and your right tackle's a disaster. You need to be able to slide Evan Neal into guard, and then I think everything's fine if Andrew Thomas is healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, you got to make it work with Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
There's not a quarterback for you.
And I got to get him some weapons because ain't nothing I've tried in the last 2 years been worth a damn.
We got 2 more teams in the true poop tier. One of them, we have, hit your button.
Oh.
Who's going to break the news? Who's going to break the news? Who's going to break the news? Who's going to break the news?
Justin Herbert, done for the year. Will have surgery on another broken, destroyed, mutilated finger, and he will not play for the rest of the year. And the Los Angeles Chargers come in at number 26 in the power rankings. Yeah. You won't win another game all year. You're going to have a new coach, all the things. It's all good. You're going to be in a position to take a legit corner, which is what I have you doing with Nate Wiggins out of Clemson at number 12. I believe that's where they fell in. 10, sorry.
Who was it?
Nate Wiggins. I like that kid a lot. He has become the clear number 1 corner.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers just need they need
leadership.
Somebody that can defend the pass.
I need leadership. That's what I need the most.
When Asante Samuel's the best corner on your roster, you need another one because he should be playing. I'll say he should be playing as a 2 because I'm trying to be nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's the holiday season. I'm in the spirit of giving. He should be playing in the slot, but
doesn't hurt that he's one of your guys.
I love Asante. He's not a number 1 corner, and he's been cast that way.
Oh, no
and it
doubt.
makes him look
I'm saying
really bad.
That's why you might be pulling a punch or 2 with
No
those
doubt.
garnet glasses.
No doubt.
That's
He's
just fine.
He's Seminole. No big deal.
Number 25.
The Tennessee Titans. Hey, you got a win last night. Good for you. That's swell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you did that.
Mm-hmm.
Got a quarterback. You really if the Tennessee Titans had one of those draft classes where, hey, we didn't take any defensive players. It's all offense. I wouldn't be mad at it.
You need offensive line.
Just draft 4 offensive linemen, 3 receivers, and call it good. I have them taking Roma Dunza.
That would be nice.
It blows my mind how many people don't like him as much as I do.
Really?
Number 1 contested win rate wide receiver in the country. They're afraid he's not going to be able to separate, which I don't see.
Yeah.
And the thoughts that he played in the Pac-12 and that there were a lot of busted coverages and he was wide open a lot of the time. I get it. Yeah, watch him in the end zone. Watch him in the end zone and you'll very quick, because I'll be honest with you, he kind of reminds me of DeAndre Hopkins. And I think he can be that good.
What, at high point in football?
Yes. Prime DeAndre Hopkins. Ooh. He can be that good.
Nice. Well, that definitely come in handy for Will Levis. And you can see more good games out of Will Levis in the future with that.
Gambit fan said, I love how the message for a lot of these teams is, hey, you got to win. Good for you. Now stop doing that. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Because we had so many teams at the bottom of the power rankings win this week and so many at the top lose this week that it was hard to figure out who to believe in and who not to believe in. I mean, we know the ones that suck. They're not going anywhere, despite how many times they might win. Sorting out those top teams that lost this week, that was a big challenge. Get into more of that coming up here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville for a Power Rankings Tuesday.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
'Twas the day before Christmas, and at the North Pole, the elves were all gleeful, mind, body, and soul. From making to baking, content as you please, when off in the distance they heard a loud sneeze.
Hello, I'm in need of normal human cold medicine.
One last stop to top off the tank, and Santa's a go, with Ingalls to thank. Merry Christmas from Ingalls.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Wishing you love, light, and laughter, and a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, too. Happy holidays from Terry Lynn Queen at iHeartMedia Asheville.
May your heart be filled with all the joys of the season. May your days be merry and bright. Happy holidays from Maria Zimmer and the team at Hummingbird Insurance. See us for your health insurance needs in 2024.
Spruce Pine Chevrolet GMC's year-end extravaganza is here. Exceptional year-end offers on all Chevrolet and GMC models. It's your chance for amazing savings. Don't miss out. In person at Chevrolet Boulevard in Spruce Pine or sprucepinechevrolet.com.
Pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back that won't go away? Check out QC Kinetics for long-lasting relief. No surgery, drugs, or downtime. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. With locations in Asheville and Greenville.
The holiday countdown is on. Don't miss 50% off everything at your nearest Banana Republic factory store. Hurry to save on must-have gifts, winter essentials, and more. Now through December 19th.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Let's take a moment to appreciate our sweet children, loving grandparents, and eternal soulmates. Now let's use them to save money on wireless. Because with the Straight Talk Silver Plan, you get 4 lines for just $25 a month with unlimited data and no contracts. So add those human pawns, loved ones, and save money. Thanks, kids. They're finally worth it. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Get 4 lines on Silver Unlimited for $25 per line per month, plus taxes and fees. For data management practices and additional terms, visit straighttalk.com.
The holiday countdown is on. Don't miss 50% off everything at your nearest Banana Republic factory store. Hurry to save on must-have gifts, winter essentials, and more. Now through December 19th.
NFL Total Access, the podcast, is what happens when NFL analysts say everything they wanted to say on TV.
And he's just kind of wasting away out there.
But we're too polite to actually say it.
I miss doing that.
You can find out what happened on NFL fields just about anywhere. But on Total Access, you find out why.
You gotta want more, man.
So listen now to NFL Total Access, the podcast.
Let's go!
On the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumping a bag of hammers.
Welcome back into a Power Rankings Tuesday here in the Sportsocracy. We're not done yet with the bad teams because there's just a lot of them.
And several of them play in the same division.
Oh, yeah. We got the cluster coming up for you. The biggest cluster in NFL history.
Hey, I think it's time that I think we do that right now.
Number 24.
The The New Orleans Saints.
Number 23.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Number 22.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
We're all 6-7. Tampa with the lead right now in the NFC South Division after the win over the Atlanta Falcons. And no, none of these teams are good.
None of them are better than each other. They're just not. You and I got into a real long discussion about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Well, they're the best team of this division. No, they're not. None of these teams are the best team of this division. One of them just is going to end up, according to record, somehow being a little less god-awful than the other two.
Mm-hmm.
Kelvin Joyner said someone's going to win this division by accident. Bingo.
Yep.
And here's the dirty little secret. You don't want it to be you. The loser here is who wins this division. Because this should be the first division in NFL history to have 4 new coaches in it next year.
Yep.
None of them should be back. Frank Reich's already been fired. Dennis Allen should have been fired a year ago. Should certainly not make it through this year.
Mm-hmm.
Arthur Smith is a train wreck. I cannot wrap my brain around him. There's no consistency to that game plan whatsoever. And it seems like the more we scream, hey, you do understand Bijan Robinson's the best player on your team, right? The more he goes, nope, Tyler Algier.
Not going to do it. Keeping him in bubble wrap.
Cordero Patterson. Let's get him a couple more touches. That's brilliant. Maybe throw another one to Jonnu Smith.
But this is what you do when you overthink things, though. Everybody thinks I'm going to go to Bijan, so I'm not. To me, that's the only thing you've got left of that's why I'm doing this, because everybody expects me to, and so I'm keeping you off balance. No, none of these teams are good. I've just continued to lobby that my team's the least worst out of this crowd. And it's not because I want them to be. It's not because I enjoy sitting there on Sundays watching this team just gross their way to a win. Facts don't care about your feelings. I do think that they are the better team out of these 3.
I do fractionally.
Indeed, as Patrick Holt says, the least worst of the worst division.
Are they the least worst, though? Because they're all pretty much just the worst. I mean, that's not true. Carolina's the worst. And then you have 3 that are just horrible awful. But here's why you shouldn't want to win this division. New Orleans, in our little experiment here, picks at 12. That's where that pick falls in.
Yes.
And that gets them Jerson Newton, the gigantic defensive tackle out of Illinois. Tampa Bay, they were winning the division. We're good. You originally had Jaden Daniels. Hey, wouldn't that be fun to have a quarterback? Yeah, that's not how it goes, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because you win too many games, and you end up with Chopper Robinson.
Yes.
And guess who gets Jaden Daniels? The Atlanta Falcons.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Because they pick the highest.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that would make me think that Arthur Smith sticks around for another year, because that would be an ideal fit for his system. But that's the problem. To me, this is the perfect description of why it is not always beneficial to make the playoffs. Because no matter who wins, you're catching who doesn't win the division in the NFC East.
Yes.
They will beat you 45-0.
Mm-hmm.
They will beat you until they feel better. The Dallas Cowboys beat you, 35-7? Was that what we finally resolved that was?
That was their score from last year.
You should hope it's that light this year. They will annihilate you because you're not even playing the same sport they are. And what's the benefit? Oh, we get to hang a banner saying we were NFC South champions. Yeah, and every person that walks in your stadium for the next 10 years will point and go, hey, you remember that? That wasn't fun. Nope, that was one of the worst years of my life as a fan. We went to the playoffs and got beat 714-2.
Mm-hmm. But you're winning, right? And that's what matters. That's what we're in this for. It was 31-14 was the Dallas-Tampa playoff game last year.
Ooh, it felt like 76-0.
Well, we didn't score until 2 minutes left. It was 31-7.
Well, I remember.
Mm-hmm. Or 31-6. Excuse me.
And that would be on the nicer side of how it will go this year.
Mm-hmm. No disagreements from me. I don't want to win this division.
And you might accidentally go, well, maybe we give Todd Bowles another year.
Oh, they're gonna. I feel fairly certain about that.
Oh, that would be.
I have swung from
magical.
that of course they're going to do that. Of course they're going to realize that we just backed ourselves into a playoff spot, and still it has to change. No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that because I've seen too much of, oh, we'll see, everybody talks about us like we're a bad team, and this guy, he got us to the playoffs despite all the injuries and all of the things that happened. That guy led us to the playoffs. That's how that's going to be spun, and that's how Todd Bowles keeps his job, and that's how Tank breaks something in his house. Because the moment that news comes out, I'm throwing something. So I hope that I'm not here next to expensive equipment. I'll try to aim elsewhere.
Oh, yeah, because if you break any of the expensive equipment in here, especially if it's on this side of the desk, there will also be another thing thrown, which will be you through that window right there.
It's absolutely maddening. But, yeah, that's the whole NFC South comes in there 24, 23, and 22.
It's just it's a bad division. It's a bad division, needs a complete reset.
That it does. Before we go to the break, let's get one more in here. Number 21.
Hey, right there. We're right there together. We're riding together, brother. The New York Football Jets.
So you had Zach Wilson's career was threatened. He shows up, says falafel it. Turns out a pretty good performance.
The Jets are the most bipolar team in the history of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot emphasize this enough. Any offensive coach, I'm not even blaming Robert Saleh for this. I'm putting this directly at the feet of Nathaniel Hackett because I was with this team in the preseason. So I saw Tim Boyle with my own two eyeballs. Any offensive coach that looked at Zach Wilson and looked at Tim Boyle and went, that guy gives us a better chance to win football games, should be cast off into the USFL and forced to work 10 years as an offensive coordinator for the Houston Gamblers. Because you, my friend, are a moron. I'm not telling you the kid's good. I'm not. His high side is good. His confidence is completely broken. But when he plays like that, I'm telling you, he was special Sunday.
But the Tim Boyle thing, in a roundabout way, I guess you could say, it worked for Rob Saleh, right? Because he said, we're bringing him in, we're going to play him to spark the offense. Well, it didn't happen, and then you went back to Zach, and then that's what sparked the offense. Maybe that was just the long-term plan altogether, was, and he did kind of say this in his press conferences, was Zach was always the guy that we thought would give us the best chance to win. That's not what that was about. That was about Zach's playing terribly, and he needs a week off, I guess, or he needs another
for the second year in a row. He's been benched 3 times.
I mean, it feels like he's been benched 5 times this season. Like him and Mac Jones are on a pace here for more quarterback benchings than a pair in history.
Kelvin Joyner asked, what needs to happen to fix Zach? He clearly has talent, but it's just not clicking like it should. You want me to be honest with you? He needs to be in a place that's not New York. He needs an offensive coach. Robert Saleh is the definition of why you do not hire defensive coaches in this league. Because that defense is fantastic. I've told you that all year. And weird, when they're not on the field for 42 minutes, did you see how good they were against Houston? That's what that defense is. Mm-hmm. You just can't leave it on the field constantly going 3 and out over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. Hey, this is not a bad point. Gambit fan in the YouTube comments says maybe the offense just needed to see, oh, you think Zach's bad? Wait till we throw Tim Boyle in there, because remember how upset Garrett Wilson was or has been for weeks with Zach Wilson not being able to hit him? Maybe it was a message to the other players on the Jets offensive. Y'all need to give him a little bit more of a break. He's not that bad.
The offensive players I don't think really have ever had a problem with Zach.
Really?
The fan base does. Because there are a lot of Jet fans that, and I'm not speaking out of turn here, there are a lot of Jet fans that are really stupid. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if there was a gas leak in Shea Stadium. I don't know what. I don't know why the Jets and the Giants have a super high percentage of fans that, let's see, how do I say this delicately? If they took the Wonderlick, they would get drool on it.
New York Public Schools.
At Sports Take ESPN. I didn't say that. I thought it, but I didn't say it. And according to the rules of the Catholic Church, so long as I don't say it, that means that I can't get in trouble for it.
He's absolved.
I'm not Catholic, but if I was, then I would be absolved of that.
Right.
I look, this is a talented team. The Jets are a talented team, but they are so broken.
Mm-hmm.
And Zach needs a fresh start. I think he's going to get one somewhere, and I think he's going to be a really good starter in this league. I've always thought that. One of the funniest stories that I hear on a yearly basis is people looking at me saying, man, don't you wish the Jets had taken Justin Fields instead of Zach Wilson? No. Never once, not for 1 second, have I ever wished it had been Justin Fields instead of Zach Wilson. Because one of them I know has talent. I don't know that will ever be realized. The other is not a quarterback. Not in this league. But, where could that be? Seattle? I saw somebody say Seattle. That one would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Wilson's more talented than Geno Smith, and I don't think it's even all that close. It's just you've never been supported. And that's why if you're a fan of a team that is – if you're a fan of a team that's going to be hiring a coach this offseason, you should be really rooting for offensive guys. I've always said there's no shot. D'Amico Ryan's awesome. That's working well. If you lose Bobby Slowick, now I got to change the entire offense.
Mm-hmm.
And defense, it's a myth. Defense does not win championships. Best defensive teams in the league this year have virtually no shot of winning a Super Bowl. Yeah. The only one that's even in the ballpark is Cleveland.
You have to be able to score some points.
In this league, if you can't score and score at a high level, you are going to be an afterthought. You can make the playoffs. You might win a game. Yep. You're not doing any more than that.
All right, so who's your offensive lineman that you're drafting?
Oh, for the Jets? They were higher. Where did my sheet go? There it is. Olaf Shana. He falls to them nicely, conveniently, and I think that's at 7. Yeah, 7.
Okay.
And I'm here for it. There's a lot of people that are down on Olaf Shana, and I don't really understand why. I like Alt a little better, but Fashano's a dog too.
You're in the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Power rankings continue after this.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
High pressure on our Tuesday weather map. We'll stay on our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday weather map, and maybe even longer. Jets rain toward the end of the weekend. Going to be close, though. Low pressure coming out of the Gulf is going to bring some rain into the southeast. The question is going to be where. Sunny 50 today. Tonight, some clouds in the mid-20s. Colder areas colder. And then it's sunshine tomorrow and Thursday, low 50s. Friday, sunshine, mid-50s. And, yeah, that chance of rain toward the end of the weekend. Ray Stajic, the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Did you know Discover wants everyone to feel special? That's why with your Discover card, you have access to 24/7 customer service, as well as $0 fraud liability, which means you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with a new way to enjoy our beautiful planet. When exploring outdoor areas like local parks or a historic urban neighborhood this spring, be sure to recreate responsibly to protect yourself and the environment. Check the open status of a place before you visit, be respectful of others, and dispose of waste properly. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Have you taken advantage of your dental benefits for 2023? Make your appointment now to get in before December 31st at Summit Dental. Most dental insurance covers 2 cleanings and exams a year. Contact Summit Dental now to take full advantage of your plan. Summit Dental also has a full range of professional services, from crowns and fillings, implants, teeth whitening, and more. Plus, they're accepting new patients. Visit AshevilleSummitDental.com and schedule your appointment now to get in before the end of the year.
iHeartRadio is your #1 app for the holidays. Just open the app and search iHeart Holiday and start listening now. You'll see your local holiday radio station, plus all kinds of other holiday stations, playlists, and podcasts. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, inside the Ingles studios. Time to get weird, and I've never heard of this before. Have you ever heard of, I don't know, I mean, I guess I've heard of, like, ticket quotas, right? Yeah. Some departments, have like this, it's the last of the month, we got to get our speeding ticket quotas in or whatever. You've heard rumors about that.
Yes.
Before. And this kind of falls into the same lines. A man in Colorado is getting $400,000 in a lawsuit after it was found that the cops in his town were participating in basically just a DUI arrest drive. Apparently it was like a monthly contest in the, I think it was Longwood was the name of this area.
Yeah, that sounds like crimes.
Yeah, where Loveland, Colorado, where the cops would every month, I guess there was a prize or something, bragging rights. Maybe you got
Seems
your
like
picture
a weird
on the
thing
wall.
to have a prize for.
I don't know. Whoever got the most DUI arrests,
I think
got
I see
something.
I think I see where this is headed.
They pulled this guy over. They said that the inside of his car smelled like alcohol, so that gives me the probable cause, right? So they put him through they tried to put him through the test. He wouldn't do the sobriety test. So they immediately arrested him. He said, "I'm not drunk. You have no reason to do this." And they said, "Well, we smell alcohol in your vehicle." He said that was crap. And he didn't do it. So they arrested him, took him downtown. Breathalyzer test, registered 0. Did a blood test on him, registered 0. The DUI arrest still stood because they needed to make their quota that month.
Yep, that's crimes.
That is crimes.
You should be the officer that did this should be in jail.
Well, here's the problem, and maybe down the road there will be charges of some kind coming. He no longer works there. Neither does the chief that was over this whole operation a couple of years ago.
Well, that's good.
But the lawyer did the digging, found out that they had the little quota system or the contest system or whatever, and this guy lost his FAA license. He is a pilot. Lost his job, lost his license. Anybody that knows about the federal licensing bureaucracy, how much that cost him to try to get that back. Good for him. $400,000, and yeah, I hope to God they go nail these crooked cops. I mean, DUI enforcement should be more important than that, right?
Oh, no doubt.
We should not be making
It's way too
joke.
easy to call an Uber.
Yeah.
So there's no.
But I'm saying the cops making a game out of the DUI thing
That's
is
pretty brutal.
Just do better. And just do better. It's ridiculous. By the way, don't drink and drive this holiday season, just so everybody knows. The DUI checkpoints are going to be out, and there are many, many highway patrolmen on the roads.
Call Uber. I had a lovely one the other night.
Yep. Not that any of our guys would be participating in this.
And we talked about we talked about Army Navy, and I'm not even sure he liked football. I didn't ask.
There you go.
You know why? Because I didn't care.
Didn't care.
We had murder hornets. We've had a lot of things that are terrifying. Now we have something that I never, ever thought we would have.
Uh-oh.
Killer lemonade.
Lemonade?
We have killer lemonade. Panera Bread Company has a charged lemonade. It is a 30-ounce cup. You're supposed to consume no more than 400 milligrams of caffeine a day. A 12-ounce Red Bull has 111 milligrams of caffeine.
Okay.
So that's the normal standard size. The gigantic one has more than that, but it's still less than what I'm about to tell you. This one 30-ounce charged lemonade has 390 milligrams of caffeine in it. It has already killed 2 people. 46-year-old Dennis Brown went into cardiac arrest while walking home after having one with his dinner.
Wow.
Also notes that he had had them 6 days in a row before his death. And a 21-year-old University of Pennsylvania student who had a heart condition and was told to avoid caffeine died after going into cardiac arrest after having one of these. Now, the restaurant, Panera, says that these lawsuits are without merit because they're being sued over the charged lemonade, and they say we are not changing it. It's a very popular menu item, and it will not be coming off the menu. Here's my question. Should it?
No.
I agree with you.
No.
I agree with you.
It should come with a warning.
No doubt.
You should definitely post something or have the little
like
disclaimer.
Red Bull does. It's on the can.
Yeah. If you have a heart condition, you should not consume this beverage. Consult with a doctor. Something.
Now, me, I am a great fan of the Beast and of Monster and of all Monster things, which is why I'm currently having a sugar-free one as we speak.
Now, if you're just saying like, hey, try our super sweet tea, it's super good, then there's a problem. But if you tell people this has so much caffeine in it, it can kill you if you have a condition, then leave it on the menu.
Look, I drank full bore Four Locos back in the day. I think I could do this with no problem.
I'm a football fan. I'm all for dudes or ladies and gentlemen taking their own risks as long as they know the results. Right?
Exactly.
As long as you know what could lead to you crashing your head into another dude's head for 10 years, go ahead. Reckless abandon. Go.
I also feel like this is a good time to point this out because somebody pointed it out to me and now I cannot see it. Panera Bread Company.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever noticed that their food is like really bougie hospital food?
Yes.
I never thought of that. And I like Panera. I'm not throwing shade.
I've never eaten there because of that. Because everything, every like menu I've seen of theirs looks like it was something that was printed for a hospital
cafeteria.
Room. Yeah.
I never thought of that.
Well, it's very industrial looking.
My wife eats there all the time.
I've never been around one. Like
I
there's
used
never
to
been
have
one convenient.
There was one in the lobby of my building in an office I worked in years ago.
Uh-huh.
So I've eaten way more Panera than probably should have. Sure. Okay. Never had one of these, but now I'm kind of curious. May have to stop and get me one of these. The only thing is that's so much caffeine that I'm not sure that wouldn't even have an effect on me.
I'm curious as well. We should go try this.
Hey, you just got told you weren't going to die like 15 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah. Heart condition.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say if anybody was going to get killered by the lemonade, you would. I mean, you're going to be on that list.
Hey, I got a clean bill of health last week. I'm not gonna push it.
Patrick Holt said hospitals don't have bread bowls and bacon turkey Bravos. I don't know what a Bravo is. But I will say this: I have had a bread bowl in a hospital cafeteria before.
Pretty good. Meh, they tried.
I mean, it's hospital food. I've always laughed when people say, "Oh, you got to go to the cafeteria to get to the good food."
Well, I mean, it's better than what you're going to get in your room,
no doubt,
because that ain't got no salt on it. And
yeah, because that's food for people that are ill. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's still not like you're getting. It's still not like this is. Hey, we're going to Ruth Chris. It's in the. You know what? I bet you're not going to get the gabagool. I bet you won't get that in the hospital.
Tommy DeVito visits.
Tommy DeVito would be very upset. Oh, no roasted peppers in the gabagool. I promise I'm going to stop doing that eventually.
Tommy gets whatever he wants.
It's going to stop being funny to me eventually.
I don't think it will. I really don't think it will. Week 15 NFL Power Rankings rolling on here in the Sportsocracy. Number 20 this week.
The Chicago Bears.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I am. And here's why. That defense is better than people think. Matt Eberflus has done a pretty good job of that defense. The problem is you still have a quarterback who, how do I put this delicately? He is not good at football. He's not.
Mm-hmm.
And Chicago is lining up here for one of the weirdest decisions that a team's ever going to have to make. This front office didn't commit to Justin Fields. You got to choose the fifth-year option this offseason. And I don't know what you do. I really don't. Because I'm not sure Justin Fields and Caleb Williams aren't the same guy. Caleb Williams has been made out to be this, like he's a Superman. No, he played in a Lincoln Riley system that has produced some, we'll say, inconsistent results in the NFL. Because, yes, we're going more spread, but it's still a big difference playing in the Pac-12 and playing in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at what Caleb Williams has done against good defenses, you know how I feel about Justin Fields. I don't think he's a high-level quarterback. I don't think he was ever going to be.
Right.
I don't know that I can use a top-5 pick on Caleb Williams. I just don't. I have a history of breaking quarterback prospects anyway.
But then?
I don't know that I wouldn't just trade one. I'd just trade one, get the buku of picks, and then you know what? I'll buy another year. I'll do the same thing with Justin Fields that Green Bay did with Jordan Love. Yeah, it just kicks the can down the road a year. But Gambit fan, Fields is good enough to win games at the end of the season when it's too late to do anything and make the front office go, if we build around him, that's the problem, is that we've now done this 2 years in a row. This will be the third time we've done this.
Mm-hmm.
I've never at any point gone, that's a franchise quarterback. Now, that's a good fantasy quarterback that you're getting duped into thinking is better than he is. But I'm not sure he's not a better solution than Caleb Williams.
When does the Lamar thing start to surface again? The comparison to Lamar Jackson and his leap. Because we said the same things about him early in his career. Was that he can't be the franchise guy, he can't win, blah, 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 blah. And then he had the
those
MVP
are lazy
year.
comparisons. I'm not going to get into why. Those are lazy comparisons and they're stupid. Every quarterback that can run is somehow compared to Lamar Jackson, in spite of the fact they're completely different players.
Mm-hmm.
They're built differently. They're talented differently. It's a lazy comparison, and it gets on my nerves. So I don't even play into that.
Okay.
One of you's in Baltimore, which is one of the most well-run organizations in football. The other one plays for the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't understand the difference in that, I can't help you. Now, if Justin Fields was in Baltimore, now we'd have a different conversation. But we probably wouldn't have gotten here either.
Mm-hmm. But is it not the same thing? Like you're gonna have to build a team around him, and it falls.
You've already built a team around him. How much better do you want this to get? You've already got one of the 8 best tight ends in the league. You've got a high-level number 1 wide receiver. You've got 2 other receivers that are pretty good. You got a slew of running backs. You've invested in the offensive line. What more do you need for the love of all that's good and holy? And yet you're super inconsistent. Why? Because you're not very good.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I do understand that I'm speaking out of both sides of my mouth here. I don't know what they're going to do because I'm not sure Matt Eberflus doesn't return. The defense has gotten so much better that I'm not sure it hadn't bought him another year. Because I don't want to switch the offensive scheme again. And that makes me think they're going to do exactly what I did in the 3-round mock draft and draft Marvin Harrison. I have Marvin Harrison Jr. going number 1.
Okay.
Because I don't think there's going to be that bounty offer to Chicago like what Carolina gave up to get up to 1 last year. And I think you might end up getting stuck having to take Marvin Harrison. Now, is that that's a pretty nice consolation prize, quote unquote, because he is special, and then you would have DJ Moore and Marvin Harrison. The only problem is that steers you into something completely different, which is, hey, what happens when Justin Fields is good enough to get you to the playoffs with that, and now I've got to pay him? Which is exactly where Green Bay is.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Number 19.
Oh, wrong button. The Las Vegas Raiders. There's already been questions in the chat of, well, how are the Raiders better than these teams? Tank, but do that thing that this is that time every week where you just piss me off for 2 or 3 minutes. So go ahead and tell me how god-awful the Raiders are.
Where I tell you that the Raiders are not a good team, and they continue to prove it to you every week.
None of these teams are good.
No, none of these teams are good. I just feel like you overvalue Las Vegas.
Which team behind them would they beat on a neutral field right now?
Would who beat on a neutral field?
The Las Vegas Raiders. Who behind them would beat them on a neutral field right now?
I think my team would beat
I think you're smoking crack. That's probably the nicest way I can put that.
I think your team would beat them. If you get that same Zach Wilson again, I think you beat him.
That one, I don't dispute.
I think
the problem
Bears
is I've
would
seen
beat
that Zach Wilson one time in the last 2 years. I've seen it 2 times ever. So I can't say you're right. The Jets good. That might be top 12 good. The problem is I've seen it one time in 13 games. The other 12 bogged that down a bit.
The Bears are another team.
No way.
Already beat them once.
Max Crosby would haunt Justin Fields in nightmares.
Did he miss that game earlier this year?
Max Crosby?
Yeah.
He haunted Justin Fields in nightmares.
Okay. But
actually, that was Tyson Bagent that played in that game, I think.
It was Tyson Bagent.
Yeah, that was Bagent, not Fields.
Yeah. Okay, so, but you put Justin Fields on this team, and you think
Justin Fields runs into pressure more than any quarterback I've ever seen in my life.
So they'd be worse.
Yes.
And then
in that situation,
they would lose because of
the Raiders are better than the Bears. I don't think it's even. I'm not sure that one's even debatable.
Okay. All right. And you lost by 18 to them earlier this year, so
that was also the game that got Josh McDaniels fired. That was with a completely different coach with a completely different quarterback.
Okay.
You want to bring up when they played him 7 years ago? Because, I mean, it's about as relevant.
I mean,
this is a better team with Antonio Pierce. Yes, I understand this past week was bad. You've got a rookie quarterback. You got Brian Flores that dared him to beat them, and your running back got hurt. This is where the Raiders fit. Because every team below them, I have seen the Raiders have been bad, but even the worst I've seen of the Raiders is better than the worst I've seen of every team below them. Just is. The Bears have at times not even looked like an NFL franchise. The Jets are the worst red zone offense in the history of this league. Tampa Bay just gave up 350 yards passing to Desmond Ridder and $170 to Drake London. You don't think that Aiden O'Connell and Devontae Adams could do the exact same thing? Because I do. Oh, but we won. Yeah, because they couldn't stop you. Not because you really did anything, but because they're that inept. And I would do that with every team below them. Look, I'm not arguing that they're good. I'm arguing that they're better than you pan them out to be. Because you make them sound like they're as bad as New England. They're not. They were with Josh McDaniels. They're not now. Yes, they just lost a game 3-0. They also held an NFL team to 3 points. I get that your offense was horror awful. The worst part of this team was the defense. It wasn't on Sunday. Defense did everything you needed them to. Offense did nothing.
Okay. Number 19, Las Vegas Raiders. Who do they get in the draft?
Oh, that's a good question. I probably shouldn't have closed that tab, should I?
Nope.
That didn't make a whole lot of sense. Kool-Aid McKinstry, the cornerback out of Alabama.
Okay, that makes sense.
Which will be an interesting evaluation over the course of this draft, because some people love him and some people hate him. And it's all based on what scheme you play.
Yep. You got the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We'll give you the top half of the league coming up after the break. The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan. The Beast Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
The Ingalls Giving Tree, benefiting Manna Food Bank, will be on display at the Asheville Mall as a reminder of the needs of so many families in western North Carolina. Drop off non-perishable items in the donation barrels at all Ingalls locations, donate online or at the Ingalls Giving Tree at Asheville Mall so Manna Food Bank can reach everyone who needs help. Nothing can hold back the holiday spirit of giving in western North Carolina. Please help Ingalls Market, iHeartRadio Asheville, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times ensure Manna Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this holiday season.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product and don't know what to do next? Inventors, InventHelp can help you get started with your idea. Call 1-800-INVENTION or go to InventHelp.com to get your free inventor's information. They can help you try to patent your idea and submit it to companies. Get started with your idea today at InventHelp.com. InventHelp is the leading invention service company. With offices nationwide, they've been helping inventors since 1984. Inventors received more than 10,000 patents through their patent referral services. Don't wait to get started with your idea. For free information, contact your friends at InventHelp. Go to InventHelp.com or call 1-800-INVENTION. That's InventHelp.com or call 1-800-INVENTION. They help everyday inventors just like you. Additional services include invention websites, prototype models, technical drawings, and more. They keep your idea confidential and explain every step of their invention services. Remember, that's InventHelp.com. InventHelp.com.
On Millionaire's Cove.
Don, I won $1 million playing the $10 million spectacular scratch-off. And there's someone else.
Well, I won the $10 million top prize.
I don't know what I saw on your long-lost brother.
I have a brother?
New $10 million spectacular from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Instant millions change everything. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 3.11. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
The holiday countdown is on. Don't miss 50% off everything at your nearest Banana Republic factory store. Hurry to save on must-have gifts, winter essentials, and more. Now through December 19th.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
High pressure on our Tuesday weather app will stay on our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday weather app, and maybe even longer. Chance of rain toward the end of the weekend. Going to be close, though. Low pressure coming out of the Gulf is going to bring some rain into the southeast. The question is going to be where. Sunny 50 today. Tonight, some clouds in the mid-20s. Colder areas colder. And then it's sunshine tomorrow and Thursday, low 50s. Friday, sunshine, mid-50s. And, yeah, that chance of rain toward the end of the weekend. Ray Stajic, a Weather Channel.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
The holidays are the happiest time of the year. That is, unless you or your loved ones are miserable because of colds, sinus infections, or allergies. This holiday season, give the gift of better breathing with Navage. What makes Navage so effective? Well, unlike cold and allergy drugs that might take a long time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage provides fast relief from sinus congestion in 30 seconds flat. Navage doesn't just relieve symptoms, it attacks the cause by sucking out the germs, allergens, and viruses trapped in your nose that are making you feel miserable. Best of all, Navage does it naturally, without drugs. Wash away your cold and congestion problems this holiday season. Add Navage to your gift list so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls Studio.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, it is a Power Rankings Tuesday. We just get so caught up in the minutia
of crap teams.
Yes, we do. That we press forward with the Week 15 NFL Power Rankings here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We're heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and join us in the chat, and you can see the wonderful graphics that Jeremy has made here for the Power Rankings, as he does each and every week. We are up to number 18.
And you know, you knew I was going to break this out at some point today, because I've been torturing you with it for several days now. The Green Bay Packers.
Oh, we thought you were good for a second. We thought Jordan Love was making a turn here. Now, here's the thing. I can't get away from the comparison of Jordan Love and Baker Mayfield. They're very similar to me.
Yeah, they are.
Sometimes he's going to play pretty good. And you'll go, hey, we can win some games. And then the next game he's going to come out and he's going to throw it into the dirt when he's trying to hit a guy 2 feet away. And you're going to go, oh, that guy sucks.
It's so funny to me that you said that. That was your first reference when we talked about this morning, because I thought that all night last night watching him against the New York Giants. Man, this evaluation is so unbelievably close. Mechanics are terrible. Accurate, just wildly inaccurate at times. You can make the superhero throw. You can also make the dumbest decision. He threw an interception last night, top 5 worst you'll see all year.
Just threw up a
practically no quarterback in this league would do that. Virtually none of them. He stared down the receiver the entire way. He had absolutely no idea what the defense was. The only thing I can figure is that he thought he was throwing into the soft spot of the zone. The problem is he threw off his back foot, which he does, 45% of the time. And the ball was about 10 yards short. So for the safety, he just went, oh, look, a gift.
Yeah.
Look, a Christmas gift from Santy Love. I don't know what you want. I really don't. He's mediocre at best. This team is mediocre at best. You can win games that you're not supposed to. You can lose games that you're not supposed to.
So who does Green Bay target in the draft with their first pick?
Oh, that's another good question. Probably should stop looking away from that screen. Amarius Mims, the offensive tackle out of Georgia.
All right. That'll be formidable. Number 17 in the Week 15 Power Rankings.
The Seattle Seahawks.
The memories of when we thought that team were good. Still warm. I can vaguely remember them. But you're not. Geno's not good.
That team.
Geno's not good, and DK Metcalf is doing everything he can to get suspended in the league. I just feel like he's on a collision course.
He is.
With Roger Goodell. He's going to be the next one. DK Metcalf has been called to New York for a face-to-face meeting with Roger Goodell because he can't keep his head on his shoulders. It's just not a very good team.
No. I mean, look, they've got there's young talent on this team. You're still just beholden to a mediocre quarterback, which is exactly what Geno Smith is. And every time you play good teams, it gets unveiled. Every single time. And Drew Lock. Woo. That was brutal. That team is at times really brutal to me, which is why in the first round I have them taking Michael Penix Jr., and I can't get away from it. I find myself doing that every single time I run a mock draft.
Yep, it makes a lot of sense.
Because he's got the arm that Geno Smith can do the mundane pretty well. He also takes ridiculous sacks at the worst times. And Michael Penix is the exact opposite of that. I'm not sure he's not the exact opposite of Geno Smith. He's got the deep ball arm with the weird throwing motion. It's not always replicable, so he doesn't always do the mundane as well. But he also never takes sacks. Ever. That's why he's my 4th quarterback in this class. Since Quinn Ewers is coming back to Texas.
Yeah. Number 16.
You gotta flip the screen on that one. The Minnesota Vikings.
Well, without Justin Jefferson, this doesn't work real well.
It doesn't work real well with Justin Jefferson.
I mean, at least it's more palatable to watch when he's on the field.
You ever notice that every time they bring in a different quarterback, the different quarterback is always better than the one that was game planned for? You ever think about why that could possibly be? Oh, Jaron Reed was terrible. And Josh Dobbs comes in, and he's amazing for 2 weeks. And then team's game plan for him, he is horror awful Nick Mullins comes in, and it's the first time the offense looked competent all day long.
Mm-hmm.
And a week from now, if Nick Mullins is the starter, the same thing will happen to him. This team's just not very good. That's the problem with Minnesota. Your defense is god-awful. Although Ivan Pace Jr., that dude should be getting way more talk for Defensive Player of the Year. I know Jalen Carter is going to win it. That dude should be getting talk for it.
Mm-hmm.
He also looks like somebody you just really don't want to meet in a dark alley because that dude will bash your skull in with his bare hands.
That he will. He'll never get the respect on a bad team, though.
No, I mean, look, they're probably going to back into the playoffs, and you'll get annihilated.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they'll back into the playoffs.
You're going to get some combination of Green Bay, Minnesota, and the Rams. I don't know which two it will be, but two of them are going to get in. Two of them are going to get absolutely embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
Probably by San Francisco and Detroit.
Number 15.
Oh, hold on, I didn't give you
I'm sorry.
The pick on Minnesota.
The draft pick, sorry.
It's Terrion Arnold, the cornerback out of Alabama. He has screamed up boards in the last, month. And now he falls in right behind Kool-Aid, right behind Kalen King, and right in front of Kenyon Mitchell from Toledo. They need a corner really badly. I watch what they put out on a weekly basis and just go, man, how did you get to this point? There's not even a high-level prospect out there. Mm-hmm. It's not like you've got a young kid that you think is going to get really good one day that's out here just getting drugged down the sidewalk. No, all these guys were 5th, 6th round, undrafted free agent kind of prospects. I've never understood how a team gets to that point. How do you let a roster get that bad? I mean, I understand the financials of it. I got that. This is where, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Can you not scout better than that? Number 15.
It's not even that. You put absolutely no attention to detail in this at all. None. It's bizarre to me.
Mm-hmm. Number 15.
The Los Angeles Rams. This team makes absolutely no sense to me. None. Sean McVay must be the master splinter of the NFL. That's the only thing that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. After pushing the Baltimore Ravens to the brink this past week, they beat the Browns week before. I mean, there's something to be said for a team that can score points, right? When your offense can move, it can help you out. And they got the Commanders, the Saints, and the Giants all coming up, which means this team's probably going to be 9-7.
Oh, I see almost no way. I see almost no way they don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, going into the San Francisco 49ers at the end of the season, the chance to win 10 games. I mean, I don't think they will.
Fun story about the Rams. How many teams in the NFL played a tougher schedule than them?
Is it a bunch?
It's 3.
Really?
They played the 4th toughest schedule in the NFL.
I mean, it makes sense. You look at the teams that they've lost to: 49ers, Bengals, Eagles. I mean, it was the Steelers game. Cowboys, Packers. That didn't go well. And then the Ravens. It's a lot of good teams.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot of good teams.
I think the Rams are going to make the playoffs, and I'm just going to say this on the off chance that it actually lays out this way. The Rams are the 6th seed, and the Lions are the 3 seed, and the Rams go into Detroit. The Rams will beat them in Detroit. You mark my words. You just remember I said that.
All right.
That's the one that Detroit has to be going, anybody else. New Orleans, Atlanta, Green Bay, Minnesota, I don't care. Just don't send Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp here with Matthew Stafford and Kyron Williams because it's not going to go our way.
It's not going to go your way. Number 14. Or, no, excuse me. Draft pick. Forgot.
The Rams took Jared Verse. He fell to the middle of the first round, and of which, first of all, he shouldn't fall that far, but he's going to.
Mm-hmm.
You pair him with Aaron Donald. Okay. Secondary, it's not that big a problem anymore.
Yep.
They also are the first team to take a quarterback in the 2nd round. And no, I'm not going to tell you who it is. Got to watch the 3-round mock drafts.
3-round mock drafts start to go out team by team tonight on the YouTube channel. Number 14.
The Indianapolis Colts.
Okay.
Man, your good's good, but your bad is
much like every team that we've talked about.
Yeah.
So far in these power rankings. Every NFL team can look good for a time. Can you do it consistently?
Look, this is an overachieving team. That's the reason they're such a difficult eval for me. Because you have 3 games coming up. Steelers, Falcons, Raiders. You should win all 3 of those.
Yes.
And if you do, you would be in the playoffs, really, in spite of what anybody else does. Mm-hmm. But will you? But will you do that? Or will you lose the game like you lost to the Saints? It just doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a young team, and I just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they're one of the 7 best teams in the AFC.
And I don't think that they are. I think they've benefited from the schedule here. They've got to be highest on the easy schedule, or one of the highest.
Let's see.
Because I'm just looking at so they've won.
They're pretty low. There are a few.
I was going to say they've won 4 out of their last 5, and that was Panthers, Patriots, Bucks, Titans. Right, they just lost to the Bengals.
Looks like the only teams that have easier schedules than them are the NFC South because they play each other. Chicago and the Dolphins and the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm. Because coming up, Steelers, Falcons, Raiders, you should win all those games, and I think you will. And if I don't know, what's the story with Houston? Is that a long-term thing for CJ, or is he just
I doubt
concussed?
it. He probably misses this week, though.
He was just concussed?
Yeah, he's in the protocol.
Gotcha. That's and then the weirdest part about that is that makes you 10-win team. You win those 3, you're 10-6 going into the last week of the season.
And we really have to talk about Shane Steichen winning Coach of the Year.
No doubt.
Because if this team goes into the playoffs, he's got to be on every ballot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you he's going to win it, but it's much more realistic. And they're picking my 3-round mock draft, Cooper DeJean. I don't know why I said with the first time.
Mm-hmm.
The cornerback safety hybrid out of Iowa. I like him a lot.
Number 13.
The Denver Broncos. I'm tired of resisting it now.
Are they good?
Depends on what you mean by good.
I mean,
are they a threat to beat anybody in the playoffs? No. But are they one of the 7 best teams in the AFC? Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I mean, you beat Buffalo, so it's kind of hard for me to say they're better than you. I think they're more talented than you. I think you're a way better coach than they are.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Payton has made me eat a lot of words on, and oddly enough, so has Mike McCarthy, because I threw shade at him when I was throwing it at Sean Payton.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're the 2nd best team in your own division. You have a shot at winning the division. I would take them over every team in the AFC South that's not named the Jaguars. I would take them over the Steelers in the North and the Jets and the Patriots. So you're probably the 7th best team in the AFC.
This is another one, another surprise possible 10-win team coming, because you got 3 winnable games left on your schedule as well.
This is a team that you should be happy whether you make the playoffs or not, because you don't have a full complement of what Sean Payton's going to want.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't understand what is wrong with Jerry Jeudy. He was such a good prospect, and I don't even see the same player anymore.
It's just not there.
He can't track a football to save his life. It is hard to watch when they throw deep shots to him.
Mm-hmm.
They're never within 10 yards. He has no clue where the ball is. I don't know that I've ever seen anything like it.
I was going to say, we thought he was going to be a great one.
He is not.
He had all the tools.
They're picking the 3-round mock draft, Dallas Turner, the edge out of Alabama. I get that you're doing it with Baron Browning and Jonathan Cooper, but you need a real-life, honest-to-God dog, and that's what Dallas Turner is.
You're in the Sportsocracy Week 15 NFL Power Rankings roll on. We'll get inside the top 12 next. We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
Say goodbye to pests with Bug Out. With over 60 years of experience, our expert technicians are equipped with innovative products, personalized service, and put our customers first. Choose year-round pest protection with Bug Out. Get a free quote by visiting bugoutservice.com today.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand. The best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand-name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
What kind of a holiday gift giver are you? The stop at the corner store on the way to the party kind? Or the thoughtful hunt for the perfect holiday gift kind? Well, if you're the thoughtful one, we've got the perfect gift. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Footwear that are so comfortable and so easy, everyone in your family will adore them. Because with Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down to the ground, and you never have to touch your shoes. Find slip-ins for the whole family at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
I think it's just vapor.
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand. The best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
The Sportsocracy. We treat star athletes better because they're better people.
That's not fair!
Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
It is the Sportsocracy live in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville, Week 15 NFL Power Rankings on a Power Rankings Tuesday. Welcome into the program. If you are just joining us, we are up to the top 12 now. You can refer yourself to the YouTube screen to catch up on all of the power rankings as they scroll up the screen there. Number 12 this week.
The Houston Texans. What was that exactly?
Well, I mean, you know, sometimes rookies have bad days, right? And C.J. Stroud had probably the worst day, hopefully the worst day of his career.
That was not a good old good one. Now, it helps when you don't have your number one tight end or your number 1 or 2 receiver.
Exactly.
But, woof, that was ugly.
Against one of the best defenses,
no doubt,
in the NFL.
I'm not judging the guy for it. Hey,
okay, I just wanted to make sure
it's
you
a
weren't
vaunted Jets defense.
Of course it is.
That was being hyperbolic. You got 2 left with the Titans. You got 1 with the Browns. You need to win 2 of these. I think you need to go 2-1 in the next 3 games with a chance to play the Colts. Winners at 10 wins. Winner probably gets in. That's how I think this will probably go.
Mm-hmm.
But this is another team. You should be happy no matter how this ends. This season's a win for you no matter what.
Yes. Because you've seen you have the quarterback of the future.
No doubt.
You've seen you have an all-pro level pick in Willie Anderson. I mean, I feel
Just
like
call him Willie Anderson?
I think I did.
Yeah, Willie Anderson was a tackle for the Bengals.
That was a little slip up, but hey, his friends call him Willie. Me and Willie were tight.
I'm going to say they don't. I'm going to say they call him Will. Or Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
He's a scary man.
If you're nasty.
Nope, I wasn't going to do that. Everything that I think and go, nope, shouldn't do that. Tank goes, I got it.
Away.
I got it. You forgot this. I got it.
Yep.
Look, it's a good Houston team. There's a lot of the bones of this organization look really good now, and they didn't a year ago. So you should be very happy. 3 most important things in the NFL: coach, quarterback, edge rusher. You got all 3 of them in the same year.
Yep.
Now you just got to build the roster out because you've got some weapons. You need a running back because Devin Singletary, he's fine, but he's a retread.
Mm-hmm. Giving up on Dameon Pierce.
He's awful. He is awful. I don't know what in the world happened to him. He just doesn't fit in this scheme. He needs to be elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to watch at times.
It's a shame. Last year was so promising for him.
And then not so much.
Exactly.
Their pick in the gotta find him. There, Braylon Trice, the edge rusher out of Washington. I love this kid. He's gonna fall because he's not really sexy, but he's one that it's a stereotypical D'Amico Ryans, Robert Saleh, San Francisco 49ers pick of he can play multiple positions and he is super talented.
Mm-hmm.
Another Washington player that I'm really fond of, but you'll have to watch the 3-round mock draft to hear who that is.
Let's go number 11.
The Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't think there's a ton of difference between Houston and Jacksonville. I know that sounds weird to say because we thought, or at least I thought, Jacksonville was going to be the one in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not as good as I want them to be.
They're not ready yet.
And I don't know that they're ever going to be ready. I don't. You know, Trevor Lawrence is not what you thought he was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've said this multiple different ways, and nobody seems to want to listen to what I'm saying. You can't put him with the upper echelon of quarterbacks in this league. You just can't do it. Every time he plays in a big spot, he lets you down. And so I think he's going to be in that very good tier. And could he get better? Sure. But I'm looking around going, what more do you need? You got one of the best running backs in the league. You got a tight end that apparently found the fountain of youth when he came to Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
And you got 2 really high-level receivers and 2 more that are pretty good. What more exactly do you need? Yeah, the line can't run block. That doesn't really have anything to do with you. I don't get it. And I watch them, and it's clunky, and every time I think they're going to get better, they don't.
And you can't put your finger on what that missing piece is.
I can't. I mean, the defense is not good.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that, but the offense is clunky at times too. And I don't know if it's Doug Peterson's not as good of a coach as I thought he was. I just don't know. It's like you're missing something, but even if I was able to take the other 31 teams in the NFL, who is the one player that I could put on this team, and all of a sudden everything is just fine. And I don't have one.
Right. Is one offensive lineman going to change something?
No, funny you said that. Because their pick in the 3-round mock draft is Graham Barton, the guard out of Duke. I love that kid so much.
Why?
He's my kind of offensive lineman. He's just, there's nothing sexy about him. He shows up with the big, bulky knee braces. He looks like a 1997 offensive lineman. Okay. He looks like a lineman out of Duke. He just shows up and you go, that dude, I don't know how you got it to Duke because I'm going to bet you're not real bright because you banged your head into people. He's just got that mean streak, and I really like it. And I think his floor is super productive guard.
Mm-hmm.
He could play tackle. I just don't think that's going to be. I don't think that's his path to righteousness.
Right.
He's one of those that plays guard and then somebody gets hurt on the right side and they kick him out there and, hey, look, you can do that too. Not a great interior offensive line class, just to be clear.
Yeah. But are you starting to put like a timeline on this experiment here?
With Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Well, the problem is that every team in your division, they also have the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And they have something you don't have. A whole mess of money. Every other team in this division has a whole mess of money either this year or next year. And so there's about to be an influx of talent that it's going to get difficult quick. You asked me about a window.
Mm-hmm.
The window of where you're the best team in this division, that didn't last long. I mean, you thought this was going to be, hey, let the good times roll. Houston's bad. Indianapolis is going to take 2 years, and Tennessee's 3 years away. Welp. We hit fast forward on that, and now we're here.
Yep. And somehow all four of these teams now have quarterbacks. And
your life just got a lot more difficult over the next handful of years.
Think about the coaching situations there, too.
They all have either high-end coaches or really good young coaches.
That's kind of the point. As long as the coaches are still around and the quarterbacks are playing well.
I'm going to say something that might sound insane. There's a possibility that a year from now, Doug Peterson's the worst coach in this division. Sounds crazy when you say it until you look at it and go, oh. We probably got 1 and 2 for Coach of the Year and Mike Vrabel.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Ouch. That escalated quickly.
He could be. Still got a Super Bowl, and I don't think any.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's still probably a top 10 coach in the league, but he might be the worst coach in his own division in a year.
I mean, I was going to say, that's giving a lot to Shane, but we'll see what it looks like in a year.
I like Shane Steichen.
It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Let's see, next up, number 10.
The Detroit Lions. Hey, speaking of a team that hasn't quite gone the way we wanted it to.
No.
The Lions and the Jaguars are just locked together for me.
Mm-hmm.
I believed in the coaching staff. I believed this was the year you would really see it escalate. And neither one of them have paid it off.
Haven't they, though? I mean,
you watched Detroit for the last month?
I mean, I get it, but
I don't want them this high. I really don't.
Really?
The Bears were better than them for 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Take the score out, just watch the film. They were better for 60 minutes. That is now 4 games in a row that the Detroit Lions have been the worst team on the field when they were on the field. And that's hard for me to wrap my brain around.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff is slipping. I think it's becoming really obvious that you have 3 playmakers. End of message, repeat the line. Amon-Ra, Laporta, Gibbs. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Not worried about Josh Reynolds. Jameson Williams is a big old bust. I don't usually say that this early. You can't watch him and tell me that that's what you thought you were getting.
Is he worse than Quentin Johnston?
They're pretty equivalent. They both run real fast and do nothing else.
Yep. Okay.
And that would make me super nervous if I was a Lions fan. Their pick in the 3-round mock draft, that's weird. Talking about pass catchers, they need one of those. Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver out of Ohio State, who's never going to get the love solely because of who plays on the other side of him. Had some injury things this year. He's a talented prospect. I think he would slide right in as their 2.
Yep.
But you need somebody. Because there are times I'm watching defenses, and I swear to you, if you could hear what they were saying, Amon-Ra, don't really care about anybody else. Laporta, I will give him some attention too, but they play in the same direction. Because Amon-Ra is really good over the middle, and Laporta's a tight end.
Yep.
So you don't have anybody that beats you over the top, and you can't consistently do it. That's why the Jameson Williams thing had to work out, and it just hasn't.
Yep. All right, you're in the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're inside the top 10. We'll tell you who's at number 9 this week.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
High pressure on our Tuesday weather app will stay on our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday weather app, and maybe even longer. Chance of rain toward the end of the weekend. Going to be close, though. Low pressure coming out of the Gulf is going to bring some rain into the southeast. The question is going to be where. Sunny 50 today. Tonight, some clouds in the mid-20s. Colder areas colder. And then it's sunshine tomorrow and Thursday, low 50s. Friday, sunshine, mid-50s. And yeah, that chance of rain toward the end of the weekend. Ray Stajic, a Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Bug Out.
Say goodbye to pests with Bug Out. With over 60 years of experience, our expert technicians are equipped with innovative products, personalized service, and put our customers first. Choose year-round pest protection with Bug Out. Get a free quote by visiting bugoutservice.com today.
Welcome into this edition of CEOs You Should Know. I'm Mark Starling, and today we're talking with Jeff Furlan, CEO and owner of Hummingbird Insurance in Asheville. Jeff, what kind of charitable organizations does Hummingbird focus their efforts towards?
Well, we tend to focus our charity or our help on other organizations that focus on health or wellness in some way. Specifically, over the past few years, there are some food banks and also medical societies that we really like. And personally, I tend to like Bounty and Soul Food Bank that has very healthy, wholesome, a lot of farm fresh food locally. And then there's also Project Access, which provides medical consultations and possibly surgery to people that do not have the income and do not have coverage.
Thanks, Jeff. You've been listening to CEOs You Should Know, a short conversation with business leaders around Western North Carolina. To hear more of this conversation, just head to the audio archive of this station's website.
The Ingalls Giving Tree benefiting Manna Food Bank will be at the Asheville Mall. Bring non-perishable items to the donation barrels at local Ingalls locations or donate online. Join Ingalls Markets, iHeartRadio Asheville, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times so Manna Food Bank can fill empty plates this holiday season.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com, your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
Back in the Sportsocracy, it's ESPN Asheville. We're live in the Ingalls studio as always. Hey, don't forget, giving season, you're going to be out if you're going out doing shopping. I know Jeremy does all his shopping online, but if you're like me and you still go out shopping, you can go by so you can go by the Asheville Mall and drop off a donation to the Ingalls Giving Tree, of course.
I did that and stopped in no stores.
You help out
straight in, straight out.
Help out our friends over at Manna Food Bank. Ingalls Giving Tree up all giving season long. Week 15 NFL Power Rankings. And we're
people are like, I can't find a gift for my wife. Does your AMAZON.com. Done. Everything on the planet Earth is right at your fingertips. But does it cost a crazy amount of money? No, it's actually cheaper there than it is everywhere else. But surely to God, it takes forever to get to your house. Some of it'll be there the same day. Why do anything else?
Number 9 in the Week 15 Power Rankings.
It's one of those things you say every year, and I'm like, did your computer not do Amazon? The Buffalo Bills. I can't figure this team out. I really can't, because I don't think they're a threat to anybody. But your good's really good. Your bad is really bad. But Josh Allen will always give you the opportunity. Mm-hmm. You'll be in every single game. I'm just not sure you can win a lot of them.
It is the biggest boom or bust proposition of I'm going to be in every game. But it depends on which Josh Allen, how the stars align as to whether or not the Josh Allen that's going to win me this game is going to show up, or is it going to be the Josh Allen that loses me this game? Is it going to be the guy that turns the ball over and puts me in a horrible situation at the end? It's always my question with Josh Allen. This weekend 20-17 win over the Kansas City Chiefs did not surprise me all that much.
He's very Brett Favrean in that regard, and it's just something that you have to know.
And I would not be shocked to see them hang with the Dallas Cowboys this week. I would not be shocked to see them in that game at the end and lose. I
won't be shocked to see them beat them.
I don't think you're winning it.
I won't be shocked to see them beat them.
I would be. I would be.
I wouldn't be shocked. I was shocked to see the New England Patriots beat the brains out of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mm-hmm. I was shocked to see the New York Jets beat the brains out of the Houston Texans. A team at 9 beating a team that's a slightly smaller number, that's not going to shock me.
Yep.
3-round mock draft, Keon Coleman, wide receiver out of Florida State. And yes, I do understand that he and Gabriel Davis do some of the same things. The difference is that Keon shows up more than twice a year.
I was going to say, the difference is that Gabriel Davis has shown me no ability to do anything on a consistent basis.
Gabriel Davis and your dentist, 2 people that you see twice a year.
Ah, good for you.
I think I'm going to try to make that a thing. Gabriel Davis' new nickname is the dentist. You have to make an appointment to remember to see him, too, because you don't pay attention. He had an 85-yard touchdown. It was the 3rd play of the game, and I missed it.
Yep.
Oh, shoot. I got to wait the whole rest of the year to see him again.
All right, into the top 8 here.
The Cleveland Browns. With Joe Flacco, they're not bad. I don't know how.
But can it last?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, it can. Yes, it can.
Joe Flacco can continue to be just good enough to keep this team.
I don't need him to be special. I don't need him to be special. I need him to do what he's done over the course of 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you lost to the Rams and you bludgeoned the Jacksonville Jaguars. You're going to be a little inconsistent because you have a super inconsistent quarterback. And you don't really have – I mean, I like the weapons, but it's kind of hard for me to expect David Njoku to be as good as he was this week. Mm-hmm. Elijah Moore was non-existent. Yeah, I apologize. All fantasy players that lost this week, I'm sorry. I apparently took a blow to the head that I didn't know about. I was the dumbest person in the history of the time when it came to fantasy football. And for that, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Browns in primo playoff position. 8-5, you got a defense that good. You don't need primo quarterback play. I just didn't think you were going to get decent play from Joe Flacco. Right, we saw Joe Flacco last year with the Jets. That Joe Flacco wasn't good. Why is this one better?
Just because it's a better team? Flacco was fine with the Jets. It wasn't a good team. You had a receiver and a horrific offensive line. Mm-hmm. Now, the breaking news just came out that Jedrick Wills is done for the year. That doesn't help anything.
Yeah,
but I mean, look, I think this team's going to be tough. They're going to be a tough out in the playoffs because they can play really good defense. And they can run it down your throat. And Flacco is just good enough.
Who are they getting in the draft? Who's their
they don't have a first-round pick.
But their first pick would be?
Well, they only have it's Jalen Polk, wide receiver out of Washington.
Polk.
Who I am hammered on. When we do the Amon-Ra St. Brown team, I almost promise you Jalen Polk will be the cover of that.
Okay.
Rome gets all the love. McMillan and Polk are both real good, too. Mm-hmm. All of you that have told me Texas is going to blow out Washington, I don't think you've watched Washington. Tell me you haven't watched them without telling me. Well, Texas is going to beat them to death. Okay, let's bet. How about we bet that? How about you put your money where your noisemaker is? How about that?
Number 7.
The Cincinnati Bengals. But they don't have Joe Burrow. Jake Browning's doing a pretty damn good impression of him, to be really honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to continue? I don't know, but it's happened so far. And this is another team. You're talented enough.
Yep.
I don't need him to be special. He's been special. For 2 weeks, he has been special.
Mm-hmm. Problem is, you're in that mix, right? You're in that 7-6 mix. There's 6 teams at 7-6 in the AFC.
Yeah.
So that's all got to shake out at some point. I think you are a favorite to come out of that class.
Well, no doubt, because you play the Vikings, the Steelers. You got one with the Chiefs is probably the most pivotal game on New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And then you play the Browns, and that could very well be a play into the playoffs.
Yes.
The 2 teams that nobody wants to see in the AFC are the Bengals and the Browns. Because the Browns can hurt you defensively, especially when they're fully healthy, and Flacco's just good enough. And there are people that are starting to say, hey, Jake Browning's way better than anybody could have ever thought.
Yep.
And when you look around the landscape of the AFC, nobody has weapons like that.
Exactly. With those weapons, with the ability to run the ball like they can and score from close, I like that team.
Tyler Presley said, this feels too high, and I feel like it'll all come crumbling down catastrophically and crush my soul. Look, I don't think you're winning a Super Bowl, but I do think you can get into the playoffs, and I think you can really upset somebody's apple cart.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that unheard of. We have seen guys come off the bench and have sweet runs. And you know what most of them have in common? They have a really good 1, they have a really good 2, they have a really good running back, and they have a pass rusher that can haunt your nightmares.
And I agree. This does feel high. But then when you look at the other teams that are right there with them, as it currently stands, would you take the Buffalo Bills over the Cincinnati Bengals on a neutral field?
No.
Would you do that with the Lions?
No.
Would you take the Jaguars?
No.
The Texans?
No.
See how hard that gets? And then you get to the Browns or the Broncos territory and you go, oh, okay. See, now I see the divide. Now I see the divide between the teams that are right there in the playoff mix and the teams that are just not playoff caliber. There's a lot of them in that, as Jeremy calls it, the meaty clackers portion of the league.
There are teams that this is the difference. There are 3 or 4 teams, depending on how you feel about the one that's going to slot in at 4, that can beat you on any terms. There are another handful that can beat you multiple different ways. The rest of the league has to beat you on their terms. And that's where Denver is the divide. They have to force turnovers. You have to be able to they have to be able to keep you from scoring a lot of points because they're not going to score a lot of points. You get into a shootout, doomed. Cincinnati Bengals right now against the Denver Broncos, I'd take Cincinnati minus 7.5. I don't care if it was played at Sean Payton's house. Don't care. They're better offensively with a backup quarterback than you are.
Yes.
Which is the reason I rail on Russell Wilson so often. I'm not telling you he's Baker Mayfield. I'm also telling you he's not worth $50 million.
Let's hit number 6.
The Miami Dolphins. I don't have the foggiest of a clue where to put Miami. This was the hardest team after what I saw last night. And I'm going to chalk it up to you chose bad night to have a bad night. And you thought that game was over because for 57 minutes you were the better team. And then you weren't.
Well, what has made this team so good this year? What has made this team so hard to figure out? Well, it's not just Tyreek Hill.
No, it's just Tyreek Hill. I saw all of the pieces on the field last night, and they looked way more like the New York Jets than you would ever think. Because Tua is not an elite quarterback. Jalen Waddle is not a number 1 wide receiver. And then you just go down the line. It all fits nicely in place with Tyreek. All that speed is difficult to deal with because you got to have somebody over the top, which is what allows Raheem Mostert to be as good as he is, what allows Devin Achane to be as good as he is. But you take Tyreek out, and none of the rest of it works. So, yeah, I do think it's just Tyreek. If for anything else, if last night taught me anything, it's that Tyreek Hill should be getting way more MVP love than he is.
Tyreek Hill's important, no doubt. But the fact that they also played that game without, 3 offensive linemen last night? I mean, that matters, right? It matters.
Weird. The offense was real good when Tyreek Hill was on the field. Why? Because without him, I can send the extra blitzer. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, I don't care who plays offensive line. I can't blitz you with Tyreek Hill because he will kill me. He'll get a step on my corner, and he's gone. There's not a safety in this league that's fast enough to catch him on that too high on a 9 route. You just can't do it. The physics of it don't work. He's too fast. And as soon as you start pulling that safety over, he's going to run to the inside, and now you're challenging the other safety that has no clue where he's going. He's a cheat code. And without him, they're not very good. With him, they're terrifying. For tomorrow's show, I'm going to pull the EPA of Tyreek on the field and off. I meant to have that stat today, and I forgot to do it. It is staggering.
All right, who's their draft pick? I don't think you gave us Cincinnati's either.
Oh, I believe you're right. I don't believe I did. Cincinnati's was Brock Bowers. Think about that for a minute. Put that one in your old noisemaker and enjoy it.
I like it.
Who was the other team? Miami. Leonard Taylor III, defensive tackle out of Miami of Florida. It's a really bad interior class, and that's one of the only ones that it's one of the only ones I have in the top 50. But I like him a lot.
Okay. Number 5.
This is where it got real difficult for me. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. Even with the loss, even with the bad receivers, it doesn't matter. You've already beaten Miami. You got 2 teams behind you on a backup quarterback. Who am I supposed to put in front of them?
No one. There are only a handful of teams in this league that you can trust more than them. Despite the fact that they've lost 4 out of their last 6 games. Despite the fact that the offense looks not so good. They're still going to be the team to beat in the AFC because they've been there so much. Because they're so well led.
And
that begins to fade a little bit when you see all of the problems they've been having.
And they have a lot. Let me make a sweeping declaration. That's where I finally got my brain to as we were doing this morning. Next 4 weeks, they play the Patriots, Raiders, Bengals, and Chargers. They'll win 3 of those games because they showed up and put their pants on.
Yes.
They're going to figure something out. I don't know if it's Rashee Rice. This may become a 2-man offense. I have no clue. I think you'll see more of Jerick McKinnon. I think you're going to see more of Justin Watson. He doesn't win one-on-one, but Mahomes trusts him. And I think that's going to be the evolution. You'll see less of Kadarius Toney. You're already seeing less of Sky Moore because they just don't trust them. So at some point, Andy Reid's going to go, do I want to play 12 personnel all the time? No, but I'm going to. Because I have 3 running backs that can produce. I don't love Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but between Pacheco, McKinnon, and CEH, I got 3 guys that can produce. Why am I going to keep throwing these bum wide receivers out here that can't catch?
Yep.
And that's where I think this goes, is that he'll start doing that against New England. He'll start doing it against the Raiders. He'll figure out it works, and by the time the playoffs roll around, that offense is going to look different than it usually does.
Right. Hopefully at that point in their case, it'll be humming along, and you'll be able to make a threat once again to be the AFC champions again. Host an AFC championship game.
I'll give you one guess what position they draft.
Wide receiver.
Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU.
All right, Week 15 power rankings in the NFL coming down to the Final Four. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll tell you who they are. We'll nitpick over the best teams in the league.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Ingles Giving Tree benefiting Manna Food Bank will be on display at the Asheville Mall as a reminder of the needs of so many families in western North Carolina. Drop off non-perishable items in the donation barrels at all Ingles locations, donate online or at the Ingles Giving Tree at Asheville Mall so Manna Food Bank can reach everyone who needs help. Nothing can hold back the holiday spirit of giving in western North Carolina. Please help Ingles Markets, iHeartRadio Asheville, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen Times ensure Manna Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this holiday season.
Get ready for a winter wonderland of family fun at Tryon International Equestrian Center's Winterfest. Powered by Stoller Power Solutions. Skate under the stars, drive through a magical light show, and enjoy holiday attractions for all ages. Plan your visit today at tryon.com/winterfest.
Have your outdoors and running water too with Luxury Lou, the tasteful solution to portable bathroom rentals. Family owned and local, Luxury Lou Rental provides modern bathrooms on the go with running water, AC and heating, flushable toilets, and elegant designs. Luxury Loos are perfect for weddings, corporate events, remodels, and more. Don't leave your well-dressed guests to use a dirty porta-potty John.
Ew.
Turn to Asheville natives. Luxury Lou. Visit LuxuryLoosRental.com.
The holiday countdown is on. Don't miss 50% off everything at your nearest Banana Republic factory store. Hurry to save on must-have gifts, winter essentials, and more. Now through December 19th.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
It is ESPN Asheville Week 15 Power Rankings. 4 more to go. At number 4 this week,
the Philadelphia Eagles. This is the divide.
Mm-hmm.
I almost feel like the Eagles and Chiefs are in a tier by themselves of, I've seen you do it before. I'm not seeing you do anything that makes me feel like you're a high-level contender with the next 3 teams we've got. But I know you can be.
Well said.
I know you can be. I've seen you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do I trust that it's going to happen with 2 new coordinators? No. But it could.
Could. It very well could. Philadelphia still real dangerous, but they have taken a step back after the, I'll call it an embarrassing loss to the Dallas Cowboys.
And they're picking in the mock draft another Georgia guy because they love doing that, Kamari Lassiter, because you need a corner really bad. Because James Bradbury and Darius Slay, apparently they touched the Space Jam ball, and now they're both awful.
Let's go number 3.
This was so hard because I wanted to put this team at 2, and I just couldn't do it. The Dallas Cowboys.
There you go. You did the right thing.
I think I did. Their good is number 1 good, but then I have the history.
Mm-hmm.
I've already seen you lose and get embarrassed by one of these teams in front of you. I can't just forget that. I understand you're a completely different team, and if you played the team, the other NFC team that's left, I probably would take Dallas. If it was in Dallas, I certainly would.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get to neutral field, and I don't know what I would do.
Yeah.
And that's where I couldn't get Dallas over San Francisco.
Yep. Number 2.
The San Francisco 49ers.
Since you said it, I had to go there because I would take San Francisco right now. I can't get over seeing them blow out the Cowboys. Would they do it again? No. Would that game be closer? Sure. Would there be awesome things on the line? Yes. And that's why I hope they meet for the NFC Championship game.
I do too.
I hope it's between these two. I'm still a Philadelphia rooter, I guess. I had them originally winning the NFC and going back to the Super Bowl again. I don't think you can lose between these 3 teams. These 3 teams give the NFC their best chance to win a Super Bowl because there's only one other team that can beat them.
I don't know that I agree with you. The AFC is so good. Mm-hmm. And whoever comes out of the AFC is going to have to figure something out. And you're going to have to play your best football of the year when it matters the most. So who is that going to be? I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know. But it should tell you a lot that you have these 3 NFC teams. You have one more that's at 10. There aren't any more.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is in the nobody cares range. The AFC, they all have to beat each other.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to get better every single week. Whoever gets the bye, you're going to play one game, and it's going to be the NFC Championship game. That's it. That's it.
Okay. Who's the draft picks?
For the Cowboys, it was A.D. Mitchell, the wide receiver out of Texas. Having that deep threat is just it's invaluable. And he's a big version. I don't know that he's going to play in the playoff game. He was in a boot. Or actually, scratch that, was Xavier Worthy. And J.C. Latham was the pick for San Francisco. I don't like him as much as everybody else does.
And number 1.
The Baltimore Ravens. But they could have lost to the Rams. But they didn't.
But they didn't. And, sometimes it takes guys doing things that you don't expect, right, to win games. Tylan Wallace scoring that touchdown on the only punt return that he's had was just beautiful.
The best teams find ways to win when they're not at their best. Here was the tiebreaker for me. Baltimore was not good Sunday, especially defensively. Had several injuries. Had things that didn't go your way. Matthew Stafford was phenomenal, and the line held up and allowed him to dish. Baltimore was not good. You still found a way to win. I've seen San Francisco not be good. I've seen the Dallas Cowboys not be good. Dallas got annihilated. San Francisco got beat by the Vikings. That's the difference. The best team in the NFL right now is the Baltimore Ravens because they just find a way to beat you even when they don't bring their A game.
Yep.
Their C game is good enough to beat damn near anybody in this league. And until somebody beats them, that's who it's going to be.
Yep. That's why they're 10-3 and their 3 losses all by 1 score late in the game. They got the Jaguars, 49ers, Dolphins, Steelers left to go.
Oh, and they're going to earn it because the end of that schedule is ugly.
Yep. You have to show up, strap it on, and win some games here at the end if you want to make a believer out of everybody. All right, Baltimore, who they drafting?
Tyler Guyton, offensive tackle out of Oklahoma.
All right.
That's what Baltimore does. They just sit in their position and go, hey, who fell right in our lap? That one? Yep, come on. Come on.
Yep.
And it's, of course, a position in need because that's also what they do, which is why they're up here every single year. This is high, but they're in the top 8 every year.
Week 15 power rankings in the books. We'll be back with you tomorrow right here on ESPN Asheville at noon.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
High pressure on our Tuesday weather app will stay on our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday weather app, and maybe even longer. Chance of rain toward the end of the weekend. Going to be close, though. Low pressure coming out of the Gulf is going to bring some rain into the southeast. The question is going to be where. Sunny 50 today. Tonight, some clouds in the mid-20s. Colder areas colder. And then it's sunshine tomorrow and Thursday, low 50s. Friday, sunshine, mid-50s. And, yeah, that chance of rain toward the end of the weekend. Ray Stajic, the Weather Channel.
On Millionaire's Cove.
Don, I won $1 million playing the $10 million spectacular scratch-off. And there's someone else.
Well, I won the $10 million top prize.
I don't know what I saw in your long-lost brother.
I have a brother?
New $10 million spectacular from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Instant millions change everything. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 3.11. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.